What's up, guys? Welcome to your Super Bowl prediction live stream. I am your host with the most, Jake, the one and only A-hole. And by A, I mean ass. All right. So, I was predicting that the Chiefs were not going to three-peat. All year long, I was like, you guys, too many people are expecting the three-peat. Too many people are predicting the three-peat. Too many people are probably betting on the three-peat. So no way is there going to be a three-peat. In fact, I think Kansas City might not even make the Super Bowl. Well, they did make it. So now the question is, did people really bet more money on Kansas City? Or is there more money on the Eagles? Are they really going to let Kansas City three-peat and have Taylor Swift and her boyfriend and Mahomes win again? Or are they going to have the upset, like when Philadelphia had Nick Foles and they upset the Patriots? Remember that? See, it can happen. So now here we are the day before the game, and now I'm questioning my own thoughts, my own pick throughout the year that the Chiefs definitely won't three-peat. Now I'm questioning myself. So by the end of this stream, I'm going to make a decision. What that decision will be, you're going to have to wait and find out. So until then, I'm going to go over the money numbers that the websites are showing, you know, the percentage of bets and the percentage of money, and I'll show what the different sites are saying where the money is, and then I'll show you some other videos which talk about how the Super Bowls are fixed, the games are predetermined. But you guys know that if you've been watching my content, you already know these games are fixed, they're fake, they're phony, they are predetermined. How's everybody doing tonight? You got Q and Fee here, who I didn't expect for the football stream. Just so everybody knows, this is going to be a football stream since the game's tomorrow. It's the last game of the season. I was going to do football talk for a couple hours. And so anybody who's not into the football, I totally understand if you check out after a few minutes. So I'm basically doing this for views and clicks and money. That's right. I want to make some money before the Super Bowl. So I figured I would talk about it for all the disgruntled fanboys, because after tomorrow, the season is over. And I'm moving on. I'm going to move on, talk about other subjects, more important subjects. So today I thought we would get it all out of our system. Just go football crazy today. And in fact, I think I might even open up the panel later on and let some of you crazy disgruntled sports fans jump on here with me and give me your thoughts and opinions and your picks for what's going to happen. I want you guys to tell me who's going to win. In fact, I even put up a poll to see what you guys are thinking who's going to win. And so let me check the poll right now. The poll says 73% of you have voted that the Chiefs are going to win, to 27% for the Eagles. Interesting. So this crowd seems to think the Chiefs are going to three-peat, at least this small crowd that has gathered here so far. All right. Who will win the Puppy Bowl? That's a simple answer. I can guarantee the winner of the Puppy Bowl is Wolf. Wolfie wins is the Puppy Bowl. Wolfie is the pippiest bulldog of all. Ralphie wins the Pippy Dog Bowl. Meow, 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 meow. Ralphie, you're going to win a Pip Dog Bowl? Ralphie going to be a Pip Dog Woofs? Look at that, Ralph. Yes, he's a good Ralph. Ralphie going to win the Pip Dog Bowl. All right. Get it. Here. Chew on your bone. Chew your bone. Or did you finish eating it? Well, I guess you finished eating it already, didn't you? I was hoping you'd stay content with that. All right. Yeah, Ralphie's getting big quick. I didn't know that he would double in size in only 2 months. Shit, probably another couple months. He's going to be full grown. Man, the puppy thing didn't last long. He's getting big super fast. Big Pep Hot Like Fire says, I hope both teams lose. Well, we've never had a Super Bowl where both teams lost and they just pocketed the money for both teams. So I guess you never know. Maybe this one will be the first time where both teams lose and they just pocket everyone's money. I'm sure that would go over well. All right. So who all is here tonight? I'll say some hellos and then I'll just dive right into the information. All right. So who do we got here today? Mountaineer said, Chiefs and Eagles, pieces of shit. Maxwell Shrek says, rigged for Chiefs. Mountaineer also says, what us up, my guy? Q? He's asking Q, what's up? I guess he doesn't care what's up with me. Jay Watt says, Jake, did you know that if Chiefs win, Eagles will have 666 wins and 666 losses? I'm going for the Eagles because I don't go with that number, just like the Earth going around the sun, 66,600 miles an hour. Yeah, I've heard that a number of times, that people think the Eagles are destined to lose because they're on 665 losses right now. So one more loss will put them on exactly 666 losses. So there's a lot of people who are calling for the Chiefs three-peat just based on that alone. So that's like the simplest of gematria decodes, is the 666 deal. So I actually wrote that down. I wrote down Eagles 666 losses, Dwight Smith, because I'm going to show Dwight Smith telling the world that the NFL is predetermined, basically. I'm going to show that clip later. And then I wrote down Roman Reigns. Apparently, Roman Reigns just recently came out and said that the NFL is a work. For those of you who don't know, Roman Reigns is a WWE wrestler, and one of the more popular ones at that. And he just recently came out and said football is a work. Just like, so I'm going to show that clip as well. So out of the three things that I wrote down to remind myself to talk about, the 666 losses was at the top of the list because so many of you guys have pointed that out. So that seems to be a big deal to a lot of you out there, the 666 losses. But that could also be a swerve. Like they want the gematria guys to run with that so then they can go the other way, not have that happen. I also noticed that the Super Bowl logo colors, let me pull it up real quick, that they went with the Super Bowl logo colors matching again. So last year, they didn't have the Super Bowl colors match from the logo, but this year they did. So it's like they went back to that thing again. Here, let me show the logo. So a couple of years back, people were pointing out how the team's colors matched the logo colors. And then last year, people were saying, oh, it's going to be the 49ers and the Ravens because of the color of the logo. And then that turned out not to happen. So this year, we see red, we see green, and then we got Eagles and Chiefs. You know, Chiefs have red uniforms, Eagles have green uniforms. So they're back to doing the Super Bowl color in the logo. But that doesn't mean that next year they're guaranteed to do that again. They could go right back to having the colors next year not match at all. So don't put too much stock into this colors matching the logo thing, because as we saw last year, they can throw that out the window and completely just take everyone's money if too many people, bet on the certain teams, right? So the fact that they went back to the logo and the colors matching, pretty sneaky. I think they're setting people up to try and go with that again next year so they can switch away from it next year. That would be my guess. My guess is since they're doing it this year, next year the logo color won't match the two Super Bowl teams. But that, of course, is a prediction that no one's going to care about until next year. Kevin Arnold from the Wonder Years, just kidding, says, I can't wait to see the TV ratings plunge, or do you think they'll lie about that too? They'll probably lie about it because they said that this last game with the Chiefs and Bills was like one of the most watched playoff games ever. And I doubt that because the playoff games before that, the ratings dropped significantly. But they're saying that this last Chiefs and Bills game had great ratings. But I don't know if I buy that. General consensus, I haven't heard hardly anyone hyping up this Super Bowl or talking about the Super Bowl. But then again, I have an audience of disgruntled sports fans that know that the games are fake and phony. So around my channel, I haven't heard people talking about how excited they are. Instead, it's the opposite. Around my channel, people are saying more so than ever that they're not even going to watch the Super Bowl this year. They're going to boycott the Super Bowl, or that they're done watching football altogether. So I'm hearing more and more that people are checking out from the NFL. Thank you, Kevin, for getting the Super Chat donations started this evening. I appreciate that. And Super Chat donations will get your message bumped to the front of the line, of course. All right, so they went with the logo color thing matching this year. Now, let's take a look at, before we get into it, let's listen to the Dwight Smith video. One sec. Let me pull it up. This is important, just in case anyone hasn't seen the Dwight Smith admission. Dwight Smith was a linebacker, or God, I forget exactly what position he played. Somebody can remind me. He was played defense for the Tampa Bay Bucks back when the Tampa Bay Bucks beat the Oakland Raiders in the Super Bowl back in. God, I think that was the 2001 season, I want to say, or 2001, 2002 season. I can't remember right now. Somebody can remind me. But anyway, Dwight Smith, the winner, was on the winning team of the Super Bowl. And in my opinion, this is the best admission that football is predetermined and that the games are not determined on the field. And that verbatim comes out of Dwight Smith's mouth, and you can't say that he's a salty loser or he's just crazy, because he had 2 pick sixes in the Super Bowl, won the Super Bowl, and he's telling you it's predetermined. So just in case any of you guys have never seen this video before, let me pull it up for you. Release a video exposing how the NFL is rigged. There's always at least a few NFL fanboys. He was a safety. My bad. It slipped my mind what position he played. So yeah, Dwight Smith, a safety for the Bucks. He had 2 pick sixes against the Raiders, won the Super Bowl. We're about to hear his player admission. In my opinion, this is the gold standard in player admissions. The best player admission that there is. No other player admission comes close to this one. In fact, some of the other player admissions suck, in my opinion. This one is the go-to player admission. Listen up, boys who haven't figured it out yet, who like to say stupid stuff like, yeah, because all these players could keep it a secret. If everyone is in on it, then how come no one has ever came forward and said anything? How come no one has ever blown the whistle? Guys, looks like we got a fanboy here. Mike, never mind. The players play pretend football. Why are you talking about the refs? Refs are something fanboys bitch about. So all the fanboys who think the games are real have been talking about the refs help the Chiefs win. The refs are cheating for the game. Meanwhile, go watch my video breakdown of Chiefs versus Bills. The Bills laid down and lost on purpose. The game was fake. The players are pretending to play. All the players, even the third stringers, are pretending to play football. So why in the flying fuck are people still talking about the refs? Yeah, they throw flags and they get the calls wrong. But then you see the players letting Mahomes pick up first downs. You see the players leaving Travis Kelce wide open on purpose. How you going to bitch about the refs if they're leaving Kelce open for easy touchdowns on purpose? And then you have the Chiefs at some points in the game fumbling the ball on purpose and giving it to the Bills, giving it to the opposing team. The refs aren't helping in that situation. So why are people bitching about the fucking refs? You know why? It's because they still think the games are real. They aren't real. Anyone still in this fucking chat thinking that the games are real, you must be stupid or blind or both. The games are fucking fake. All the players are in on it. I'm literally playing the proof right now. Shut the fuck up about the refs. Oh, former players have blown the whistle. Just because you're too busy watching scripted NFL games and you haven't paid attention doesn't mean that former players haven't come out and exposed the league for being rigged. Take a listen to former Super Bowl champion Dwight Smith as he spills the beans right here on just exactly how rigged the NFL really is.
Super Bowl 37 champion Dwight Smith, who was a part of that team, 2 pick sixes. We all know what he did against the Raiders. But he joins us here in the Ronnie T. Crash Show as we count down to Super Bowl Sunday. Well, I mean, this is something that no one's ever seen before. I mean, you're hosting the Super Bowl. The Bucs are in it. It's Brady versus Mahomes. I mean,
that was something I predicted at the beginning of the year. I said if the NFL wanted to have the home team in the Super Bowl, this would be the perfect year. Pandemic, people can't travel, so it's not a shock to me.
How big of an advantage do you think it will be for the Buccaneers not having to travel anywhere? Because obviously, when you were the Super Bowl.
That's not no advantage.
That's not no advantage. Just straight up saying there is no home field advantage. So he started off the interview saying, these are the teams that the NFL wanted during the pandemic. These are the 2 teams that the NFL wanted. Oh, well, what do you think about the advantage for Tampa being at home? They don't have to travel. Oh, that's not no advantage. So he comes out with truth bombs right out of the gate. He ain't candy coating this shit. He ain't saying, we get handed a script and then we read the script. No. He's just coming out and saying it like it is. I love this interview.
I don't have no advantage.
No advantage? Okay.
No.
All right, so
that's like saying they have advantage at every home game during the year. So, I mean, it ain't like they won every home game. Yeah, y'all know all the X's and O's, man. I'm just sitting at home watching. I don't like to get into that because I don't believe the game is really decided on the field. So
I don't like to get into the X's and O's because I don't believe the game is really decided on the field. You guys know how many fucking times people have said, if the games were rigged, one of the players would tell the secret, and nobody has ever told the secret, except for the fucking Super Bowl champion. Oh, but fanboys never watch this. They don't know nothing about this. In fact, if you fucking show it to them, they dismiss it and say, oh, well, that doesn't count. What about all the other players? How come none of the other players do? So people say none of the players have ever admitted it. Yes, they fucking have. The Super Bowl champ with 2 pick sixes right there admitted it. Oh, well, How come more players don't admit? Oh, see, you can't fucking win with fanboys. So if you're a dumb fuck fanboy who doesn't want to accept this as proof that the games are fake and phony, then you're stupid and you're going to remain stupid, and nothing I say is going to change the fact that you're going to be stupid for life. Those of you who just understood what the man said, he just done told you straight up. The game is not really decided on the field. Coming from a guy who had 2 pick sixes and was on the winning team in the Super Bowl, I like to take his word for it over any dumb fuck fanboy who still thinks the games are real.
So, I don't get into all the X's and O's and talking, man. Like I said, I played in the game. I set a Super Bowl record, and we knew every play they was running before the game started. So, hey.
He set a Super Bowl record and knew all the plays before the game started. But who is he to say?
What am I to say?
Well, tell us about that week leading up to the Super Bowl, because that was the big thing. Bill Callahan was the Raiders coach at the time. Obviously, John Gruden had just come over. Tell us about that week of preparation leading up to the game and how it was executed by you guys. I mean, you could know which plays are coming. And
Tim Brown and Jerry Rice come out and say that they made them run John Gruden's offense.
Yeah, they're going to try and run John Gruden's offense against John Gruden on the Super Bowl when they had never ran that offense before. And fanboys will be like, John Gruden used to coach the team, so that's why they knew the plays. Yeah, why would they run John Gruden's offense against him? So, of course, they knew the plays, right? And it doesn't matter because it's a big act anyway. All right. Got a super chat coming in from J. Robert Oppenheimer. It says, but Jake, you just don't understand. Mahomes and Kelsey are just so fast. I can tell you've never played football before. Bro, you don't have to tell me that that's sarcasm. Dude, I actually got those sort of comments the first year I did this. Like every video, fucking 100 times a video. But the next season, maybe only 20 times a video. This season, I maybe hear that like maybe once in a week now. So the fanboys telling me I don't know what I'm talking about because I've never played football, they don't say that hardly at all anymore. That's become very rare, where it used to be the first thing out of their fucking mouth. This guy doesn't know anything about football. He's never touched a football. This guy's a computer nerd who's never played football. This guy's never played a sport in his life. Yeah, those comments the first year, super common. Now, super rare. You know what that means? I've effectively changed the minds of the common sports fan. And my word, whether people have seen my work or not, has spread across the land. And now people are saying more than ever, yeah, these games are rigged. Sad thing is people are still pointing at the fucking refs, which pisses me off when it's the players we should be talking about. But word has spread nonetheless. Yeah, it's funny when you watch the replays of the Chiefs games and you see that Kelsey gets left wide open and people are like, the refs are cheating. It's like, dude, they left Kelsey wide open on purpose. Yeah, but the refs. Yeah, but they left Kelsey wide open on purpose. Yeah, but the refs. You just can't fucking win with these people. They're so focused on the refs. And then I see these other football content creators getting hundreds of thousands of views blaming the refs. Meanwhile, I point out the fucking real rig, the real script, the players, and I get like 20,000 views if I'm lucky. I have to get lucky to get 20,000 views, whereas, fucking Miker O-Phone can be like, oh, the refs are making bad calls, and he'll get a fucking million views. Fucking garbage, dude. This site promotes fucking bullshit and propaganda. They promote you, the channels that are blaming the refs. Me getting 20,000 views is shit. Should be getting 2 million views. Like what I'm doing right now. Heads and tails above any other Super Bowl prediction program. And I haven't even got to my prediction. All right. Make sure I didn't miss any super chats. And if I miss any super chats, please, one of my mods, just remind me. Just spam me over and over if I miss anyone's super chat. Super chats get bumped to the front. All right. So let's get back to Dwight Smith breaking this down.
Yes. Yep. It was his offense, and you guys knew exactly what was coming. Did you know every single play?
They didn't run that. They didn't run that offense all year, though. Ain't it odd that you would run it when you're playing against us?
So did you guys know every play before the ball was snapped?
I'm just saying, man, the game ain't decided on the field. That's all I'm going to say.
The game ain't decided on the field. That's all I'm going to say. That's straight up. He didn't fucking candy coat it. He just straight up said in that interview, there ain't no home field advantage. I don't believe the games are determined on the field. And then the games aren't decided on the field. That's all I'm going to say. I mean, guys, verbatim. He didn't say some stupid shit like Larry Johnson and say that he got handed a script at the beginning of the year that told him what was going to happen. No, he didn't make some stupid phony admission. Like that right there is the best admission. And now watch. The people doing the interview, they get rid of him. They're like, all right, thanks, Dwight, bye. And they get rid of him. Well, Jake, how come the TV doesn't do an interview with him? That's because the TV's stations, they pay to show the NFL games. They pay to show the NFL product. And then the advertisers pay the TV companies to show their commercials. So they ain't going to have Dwight Smith come on the nightly news and tell you that football's fake. None of the nightly news programs are going to have Dwight Smith come on and tell you it's fake. In fact, the opposite. Nobody's going to play this guy's words on any TV ever. So when people say no one's ever told the secret, yes, they have. It doesn't stop the NFL from playing fake football.
Like I said, I predict who's going to be in the Super Bowl. It ain't about who has the best players. Football is entertainment. So what's the most entertaining Super Bowl? The Bucs in their first one against Patrick Mahomes.
Brady versus Mahomes. What's the most entertaining Super Bowl? At the time, Brady versus Mahomes. Looking back, it makes perfect sense why they picked Brady versus Mahomes. And then the Chiefs were defending Super Bowl champs. They had most of the money on them. So then, of course, the Bucs win, and they win by multiple scores. So that if you would have tried to tease the Chiefs up or live bet the Chiefs when they were losing, you still lost. So when you look back at it, it makes perfect sense. And Brady goes down as getting the win over Mahomes. So whenever you compare Brady and Mahomes, you have that one Super Bowl where they played each other and Brady won. So he just straight up says,
it ain't about who has the best players. Football is entertainment.
Football is entertainment. And with that said, Shady Davy D. LaFleur, one of my homies, huge supporter of the channel. In fact, one of my biggest supporters. He's here almost every single time I stream, donates often, and he always tells people to hit the thumbs up. He says almost 600 in the chat. Please hit the like button, hit the thumbs up. If you're new here and watching, join us in the chat. Hey, this is our final Super Bowl stream, or a final football stream of the year. And then after my Super Bowl breakdown, that's it until next season, y'all. So this is basically the end of the football content for the season. So with that said, if you are enjoying yourself and you enjoyed the work that I put in this year, hook me up with a thumbs up. I would really appreciate it. If you enjoyed the top 10s, the playoff breakdowns, I put in many, many hours to make that content. Please hit the thumbs up. I appreciate it. Thank you, Shady Davy D. I appreciate you hooking me up with a super chat as well, buddy. So, guys, this interview right here, it's on my channel. Share it with one of your fanboy friends. If you have a fanboy friend who thinks that the NFL is legit, share this video right here. It's like 3 years old. You have to scroll back to when I first started making NFL rigged content. So you got to scroll back like 3 years. But if you scroll back to when I first started making the NFL content, you'll find it. It's got like 40,000 views. And former NFL player Dwight Smith admits the NFL is rigged. Also, other people have reposted the same interview. So if you can find the same video or the entire interview in its entirety, because I just took a snippet of the interview. So you can find many versions of this video out there. So show this to your friends and have them explain to you why he's wrong or why he's lying. You might wake them up. This might be the thing that convinces your friend or family member that this shit is fake and phony.
So what's the most entertaining Super Bowl? The Bucks in their first one against Patrick Mahomes has nothing to do with if these are the best teams, because we know that these aren't the best teams. The Bucks are not the best NFC team.
So who's the best team in the NFC, in your opinion?
The Green Bay Packers.
Okay.
But the Bucks beat them at Lambeau, though. I mean, the Bucks proved it. They went there. They beat Aaron Rodgers at his place.
You can say what you want, man. Like I say, the game ain't decided on the field.
And if you made it this far.
So right after he said that, they end the interview. They go, all right, Dwight, well, thanks for coming on. And then they get rid of him. And that's pretty much the last time you heard from Dwight Smith. Now, no one ever really talks about him. The only people who bring him up are guys like me when I want to talk about how football's fake and that players have come out and admitted it. So there you go. Armin says the last New Orleans Super Bowl was a blackout. Hopefully nothing bad happens to this one. You always got to consider that in a major event where a ton of people are watching, that they might do something crazy, something new that's never happened before might happen, or they might repeat something like a blackout. So if another blackout was to happen, that'd be crazy. So yeah, I remember the blackout bowl, Niners and Ravens. And there were people that even blamed the Niners losing on the blackout. So, yeah, you got to wonder if something, unpredictable happens that's scripted. You know what I mean? Like some random fan, runs on the field and interrupts the game, or there's another blackout or something weird, one of the major players gets, fake injured and carted off the field. That'd be crazy. Imagine if Mahomes in the first quarter was to go down, fake injury, get carted off the field, and then a shitload of people dump money on the Eagles, and then the Chiefs with their backup quarterback fucking win the game anyway. I mean, if they want to pull off some crazy live betting trap, they could have Mahomes go down and then still have the Chiefs win. And I'll bet you they would make a gigantic pile of money. Now, if they had Jalen Hurts go down and then had the Eagles with their backup quarterback win, same deal. You could so either scenario, if you see the quarterback go down right away for either team, you might consider that a live betting trap, and you might bet the opposite way. Just saying. But I'm not saying for sure that's going to happen or whatever. I'm just throwing it out there that if you see either quarterback go down right away, consider it a live betting trap. All right. SNW Sinrist says, the Doug Baldwin thumbs up play and the Dwight Smith admission are undeniable proof. Thanks for another year of outstanding content, Jake. Oh, yeah, I have that video. Let me go back and pull that one up. I have that on my channel. Good call. Doug Baldwin thumbs up play. Let me scroll back in time and grab that video for you. There we go. All right. Thank you for the donation and the idea. I almost forgot to show this clip, so thank you for reminding me.
NFL is as rigged and scripted as the WWE. Just like you see pro wrestlers talking to each other, signaling each other in the ring, here you have Doug Baldwin giving the thumbs up, which is clear as day. And then you see the defender go right over the top and whiff this tackle on purpose, just as planned. There would be no reason for Doug Baldwin in the middle of a football play to take his hands off the ball and give a thumbs up, other than if he was to signal the defender to go over the top so he could get this scripted touchdown. This is no different than two pro wrestlers telling each other the next move they want to perform in the ring and then simply performing that move. The NFL is no different.
So there's the thumbs up.
Than the WWE, folks. Share.
There's the thumbs up. Number 33, wearing orange.
This with a friend. Share this with a family member who's still watching these rigged
whiffs on purpose
and scripted games. Share this with everybody on every social media site.
And the Seahawks absolutely destroyed the Broncos in that Super Bowl. And everybody was picking the Broncos in that game. All right. So there you go. There's the Doug Baldwin classic thumbs up. And I got some super chats coming in. Got one with no message attached, just a super chat from Brandon Stone. Thank you very much, Brandon Stone. And another one from Andy says NFL is yay. I think he means gay. You know what that rhymes with. Yeah, I do. And I agree. Neil Sampson also with a super chat, but no message attached. So thank you very much, Neil Sampson. I appreciate the generous donation. No message attached. I don't know if you meant to do that or not, but thank you very much. All right. And then, of course, there's other instances like Cam Newton jumping away from the football in the Super Bowl where the Broncos destroyed the Panthers. You got Cam Newton in that game playing like trash on purpose. Ball's on the ground in front of him, and he jumps away from it. So and then you have the Falcons, of course, melting down and losing to the Patriots. Tom Brady engineering that big comeback. So once you've seen some of these plays, notice how some of these Super Bowls have went down. It should be obvious that the whole game's phony. All the players are in on it. It ain't the refs. Like that thumbs up play. Did the ref cheat? No, it's the players who are playing fake football. Look up gematria. Oh, I've never heard of such a thing. What's gematria? Can you tell me what that is, John Mitch? I have no clue. Does anybody know what John's talking about? Yes, many of us have heard of gematria. The problem is each gematria guy pulls their own numbers out of their asshole. So Zach Hubbard, for instance, will call himself the king of gematria decoding, and he'll pick a game based on the Pope's birthday. He'll pull a number out of his ass and be like, oh, this is a 38. And I like to go with the 38 narrative. That usually means that that the Eagles are going to win because of the 38 narrative and the Pope's birthday. So Zach always just pulls numbers out of his asshole. And then some other gematria guy will pull a number out of his asshole. And so every gematria guy pulls numbers out of their fucking asshole. And then when they get it right, they're like, see, I decoded it because of gematria. But then when they get it wrong, they're like, they must have flipped the script. Or you do what Zach does and you just pretend you got it right every time. Congrats to the winners. Congrats to the winners. It's like, Zach, you picked that one wrong. You just fucking hater and you're fucking lying. So yeah, I've heard of Gematria. That's where you make up a number, pull it out of your ass, plug it into the game because of whatever reason that you make up, hope like fuck that team wins, and then when they don't, just say congrats to the winners and pretend like you were right. Gematria. All right, got some super chats coming in. Let me get to them. Mitch John Mitch. Shit. 1 second. Here it is. One from Izzy Tech says, I see people say they aren't going to ride on planes. Yeah, people are already falling for the propaganda that the planes are dangerous. That's what they want. They want you to willingly not want to get on planes anymore, so that when they take away your privilege to travel on a plane, you'll be like, well, I don't care. I don't like planes anyway because they're so dangerous. So they want you to not want to travel. And then when they take away your ability to travel, they expect that you won't be too mad. See how that works? Events and more with Chris G says, Jake, chat only poos up if my phone is in landscape. Can you fix that? It only poos up. You want me to fix something on your phone that's happening? Okay, I'll fix it. Did that help? Hold on, wait a minute. Did that do it? All right, maybe this will help. Is it working? Hopefully I fixed it from being poozed up. If not, sorry. That's your problem on your end. You deal with it. Thanks for the donation, though. Events and more with Chris G. I appreciate that, dude. Poos up. All right. Good times. Good times. Doink in the Super Bowl or not, Jake? Well, they haven't done a doink for the last couple rounds of the playoffs. I think they did a doink in one of the wild card games, if I'm not mistaken. But they didn't do a doink in the last 2 rounds. So there might be a doink in the Super Bowl. I don't want to tell you, yes, bet your money on a doink, because I don't want anyone to lose money. I'd have to check what the odds are on a doink happening. I'd have to look at the odds. But I don't want to give any prop bets out, because I gave out like 1 prop bet last year and I totally didn't hit it. Last year I thought Kittle would score a touchdown, so I gave out Kittle as a prop bet scoring a touchdown, and he didn't. And I gave out the losing pick. So this year I'm trying not to give out any sort of losers. So I'm not going to tell you that there's going to be a doink, and I'm not going to tell you that there's not going to be a doink. But since you donated, I will sing the doink song live here for you now, just in case there isn't one. Because if I don't sing it live now, then that means you won't hear Return of the Doink until next season. So this might be the final time for this season that I sing Return of the Doink. Unless there's a doink in the game, then I'll sing it one more time. Unless there's 2 doinks, then I'll sing it twice. All right, so here we go. Well, I tried to tell you so. Yes, I did, but I guess you didn't know. They be messing with field goals, and there's magnets in the poles. You lied to me. All those field goals I thought were so real. You lied to me. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. You lied to me. All those field goals I thought were so real. You lied to me. Now I cry Now I cry, return of the doink. It is return of the doink. Come on, return of the doink. And another ball hits the pole. Return of the doink. Once again, return of the doink. Return of the doink. And another ball hits the pole. There you go. There you go, live version. Acapella. No auto-tune. Straight up killing it for you. All right. Super chat's coming in from Gary here. Says, F the NFL. And by F, I think he means fuck. National Fake League. My money is on the doink. Good luck to you, sir. If you're betting on the doink, I wish you luck. Events and more with Chris G says, sorry, meant pops. My phone loves to typo. Oh, it's his phone's fault for pooing everything up. He said chat only pops up in if he puts it like portrait mode. I don't know, man. I don't control any of that on my end. So hopefully you can figure it out on your end. But thank you for donating again and telling us about how your phone loves to typo. Now I know that it's not your fault that everything got poozed up. It's your phone's fault for pooing everything up. Thanks, bro. All right. No Laughing Matter says, what's your Luka trade theory? Here's the deal. I don't give a flying fuck about the NBA. I make like one video a year talking about how the NBA has magnetic rims, and that's it. So I don't cover NBA games. I don't break down NBA games. And the reason why is because here's what it would look like. So Curry goes and takes a three-pointer, and he hits it because of the magnets. And then this guy, he makes a shot because of the magnets. Oh, and here's another magnet shot. Oh, and this guy makes it from like half court because of the magnets. See what I'm saying? It's not going to be as exciting as breaking down a fake phony football game. With the fake phony football game, you got guys trying to tackle each other, fake tackle each other, right? You got guys, fumbling on purpose, dropping balls. There's a lot more things to break down and show that it's phony. Whereas in basketball, it's a different kind of phony. It's based around the hoop being magnetized or being turned the opposite direction where it makes the ball miss on purpose. So it's basically all based around the technology in the hoop. So I would basically be pointing at the hoop and just going, oh, that was a magnet shot. And you guys would get bored of that. And my guess is like probably only a quarter of the people would watch NBA breakdowns. So I would probably get 5,000-6,000 views on that, maybe. So people don't care as much about the NBA. And I personally don't give a fuck about the NBA. I don't think it's fun to watch. Even back when I used to think sports were real, the NBA was never one of my favorite sports. I would casually watch a little bit of NBA back when it was, back when Jordan was playing, back when Shaq and Kobe were playing. I would casually watch a little bit, but I never gave a fuck about the NBA as far as being a diehard fan. Like, I was a diehard Dolphins fan. I used to go to the sports bar at 10 in the morning to watch the Dolphins because I was a diehard, stupid idiot fan, right? But basketball, I just never really cared. So, being as I never really cared, I still don't care. So, as far as Luka Donkey Dick being traded to the Lakers, I don't give a flying fuck. No Laughing Matt. Oh, I read that one. I just read that. Okay. I think I caught up on super chats. And if I miss any, please, mods in chat, just, Holden sent one. Hey, Holden, glad you made it. Holden sending a super chat. Thanks, Holden. I appreciate it. I know you were asking if I was going to do this stream, so glad you could make it. All right. So with that said, let me pull up the recent clip from Roman Reigns, who is a former WWE champion. I know not everybody watches wrestling, but this guy is like one of the most popular wrestlers.
Niner gang, man.
All right, here we go.
And I'm sticking to it. Next year we're coming back. I don't know. I'm tired of the Chiefs. I don't like the Eagles either. Football's a work. Yeah. Right.
Football is a work, right? In pro wrestling terminology, a work means pretending to fight or like part of the wrestling script. So let's say you have a planted grandma in the crowd, and then you have one of the bad guy wrestlers on his way out, like push the grandma down, but the grandma is part of the show. She's a plant. That would be considered a work. You're working the crowd. She was in on the act. It was a work. So if someone was to say, oh, was that when you pushed the grandma? Was that legit or was that a work? See what I'm saying? So when a wrestler uses terminology like, is it a work or it is a work, what they mean is it's fake. It's pretend.
I don't follow football.
It's predetermined.
Smart. Hey.
Niner
And there
gang,
he
man.
just said predetermined. So he just straight up said predetermined.
And I'm sticking to it. Next year we're coming back. I don't know. I'm tired of the Chiefs. I don't like the Eagles either. Football's a work. Yeah. Right.
I don't follow football.
It's predetermined.
Smart. Hey.
Niner gang, man. I'm sticking to it. Next year we're coming back. I don't know. I'm tired of the Chiefs. I don't like the Eagles either. Football's a work. Yeah. Right.
I don't follow football.
It's predetermined.
I mean, the way he just casually said that, and you know what? He's not the first wrestler to say something like that. John Cena, another former WWE champion and Hall of Famer, also said something similar. All right, RT with the donation said Eagles wide receiver said he felt like a paid actor in Super Bowl 2023. So, yeah, we are getting a rematch from the Super Bowl 2 years ago. And, of course, the Eagles were winning at halftime. And then the Chiefs came back and won the game, of course. And that was one of the more phony Super Bowls of all time. I made a breakdown video of that and broke down all the fake, phony-looking plays that I found. And so, we'll see if it's as phony as that game was. That one set the bar pretty high. In fact, I would say that Super Bowl 2 years ago was like more fake looking than last year's Super Bowl. All right. So now let's go ahead and take a look at the money situation, the betting splits, according to several different websites. Okay. So, if you just Google NFL public money and then just start going and checking the websites, what they were showing was that the money on the money line and the spread was more so on the Eagles than the Chiefs. But as of today, now some of these sites are showing that money on the money line is more so on the Chiefs than the Eagles. So things have changed since yesterday. Now, do I trust these websites? Absolutely not. But if we look at several websites and then we compare and contrast, and then we think about where people are probably placing their money, we can maybe come up with which team most likely has the most money on them. So let's start with this website here. What is this one? Sports Betting Dime. Zoom in a little bit so we can see it nice and clear. All right. So it says 72% of the money on the money line is on the Chiefs at minus 125. That changed drastically. It was about 51% on the Eagles to 49% on the Chiefs yesterday when I checked the site. So now it changed to 72% of the money on the Chiefs on the money line. But then when you look at the spread, it shows 71% of the money is on the Eagles plus 1.5. So this one shows money on the Chiefs and money on the Eagles, depending whether you're looking at the money line or the spread. And then for those of you not familiar with what money line and spread means, the money line is you're just betting on who you think is going to win straight up without the score coming into play at all. The spread is where you minus or subtract the point spread amount from the final score. So if you want to take the Eagles plus 1.5, that means the Eagles could lose by a point, but you would still win your bet because you get an extra 1.5. So this shows people are betting their money on the Eagles on the spread 71% to 29%. But then it shows on the money line, people are more on the Chiefs 72% over the Eagles 28%. And like I said, this changed drastically since yesterday. And this is just one website. So this kind of shows you a money on both sides. Tough to get a good feel from just that one site. If we go to this next one, Action Network, it doesn't show us the money percentages unless we unlock this by like paying to join the site. But it shows percentage of bets, more so on the Eagles, but that's not much information. Scores and odds. This one says, let me zoom in a little more. This one says 70% of the money is on the Eagles, plus 1.5 on the spread. But then it shows 72% of the money is on the Chiefs on the money line. So this website is showing almost exactly what Sports Betting Dime says, that this money is split basically 70% to 30% basically for both sides. So kind of tough to figure out where the majority of the money is just based on these sites so far. Nathaniel Arias says the Chiefs are 5-5 and the Eagles are 9-4 when the head ref has officiated them recently. That doesn't matter to me at all. So thank you for the donation, but that literally matters to me not at all. I won't take that into consideration, not one little bit. But thank you for letting me know. If any of you guys think that's important, hey, more power to you. But personally, I don't think that info matters at all. So these sites are showing you Chiefs money on the money line, Eagles money on the spread. Wow. And then in case anyone's wondering, the total, people are more so on the over. It says 79%. Wow. So possibly the play might be on the under. Let me go back and see what Sports Betting Dime says about the over-under. I didn't even look. It says people are on the over as well. So both websites are saying 79% are on the over. So possibly, you guys, the best bet might be the under. It seems like the websites are both agreeing that the majority of the money is on the over, and a lot of people like to bet overs. So perhaps the smartest bet might be the under and avoiding having to pick Philly or Kansas City in this spot. Something to think about. And again, I don't completely trust these websites. That's why I checked multiple different websites. Now we'll go to the spread.com. This one only shows the spread info. It doesn't show the money line info. And it's this little pie chart. And the pie chart says 59% of the money on Philly to 41% on Kansas City. But this is only one piece of information, so I don't really like this site. We'll see what this site says. The site says 54% on Philadelphia, but it's not letting us know if that's bet percentage or money percentage. DraftKings Sportsbook Splits says the handle 52% on the Eagles on the money line. So this is suggesting that more money is on the Eagles on the money line, and that's different from what the other websites are saying. And then it says 56% on the Eagles on the spread. So this one says on both the money line and the spread that there's slightly more money on the Eagles. So this one has conflicting info compared to the other websites, making things a little more confusing. That's why I don't completely trust the websites. And then there's one that I look up on CBS Sports app on my phone. All right, so we looked at those numbers. So CBS Sports app, you can click on the Super Bowl matchup and then click on odds. So it looks like this. And this one shows 60% of the money is on Philadelphia on the spread. But then it shows 60% of the money on Kansas City on the money line. So it looks like they're purposely trying to make it look like this money is even. It almost looks like they want you to check the spread and see Eagles have more money. Then you check the money line and you see that Kansas City has more money. And then you're stuck scratching your head trying to figure out, well, who really has the majority of the money? So you guys tell me, have you looked up any of these sites? Who do you guys think that the majority of the money is on? Because that's usually the key indicator of who's going to win. The team that gets most of the money bet on them usually loses. Nathaniel Arias says, I agree. Wasn't sure if it did or not. NFL is like wrestling. Pick a favorite wrestler team and don't bet. Just enjoy it for a story. All scripted. Hey, as far as betting on this game goes, all year long I was saying that the Chiefs won't three-peat. But now that it's Saturday and I'm looking at the websites and it's showing that the money's looking kind of equal, now I'm a bit turned off by picking against the Chiefs. Now I'm not sure if I want to pick against the Chiefs. I'm not sure I even want to pick at all. In fact, the under might be the best way to go. And, I got burned earlier this year betting on games, and I stopped making picks. So you guys know the whole season I was just doing breakdowns of the fakery, and I wasn't making picks. So I'm not trying to lead anyone down the wrong rabbit hole. I'm not paid by the NFL to make anyone make the wrong decision. So that's why I want to have all this information presented to everyone today so that you guys make a more informed decision, or you just don't bet at all. So perhaps what will hurt the NFL the most is if none of us bet and none of us watch. Maybe that will hit the NFL in the wallet the hardest. If less people bet than last year, less people watch than last year. So, being we looked at the numbers, I'm not so sure I can tell which side has most of the money. I would have figured that too many people would be on Kansas City, but then I see a bunch of people ponying up money on the Eagles, picking the Eagles. Now I'm not so sure. Mike Flyer says, I see 79% public taking the under on Sports Dime. Dude, I just pulled that up. And it shows the opposite of what you're saying. Look, Sports Betting Dime. Unless you're talking about a different site than this one. Look, Sports Betting Dime, is that the one that you're talking about? Because this one right here. Wait a minute. Oh, whoops. Right here, Sports Betting Dime. Here it is. It shows 80% of the money on the over right here. See? So let me check CBS Sports app and let me see what it says. Yeah, this one says 82% on the over. On the CBS Sports app, it says 82% on the over. I think it's might be showing up backwards on screen for you, but I assure you, it says on this website and CBS Sports app that 80% of the money, and that's quite a huge split. So unless they're lying, perhaps the under is the way to go. Byron Williams says you got to take into account futures bets also. Great point. In fact, I was going to bring that up as well, so thank you for reminding me. I would guess at the beginning of the season, since the Chiefs are two-time defending champs, that people would bet on the Chiefs to three-peat. All season long, I have had people in my comments tell me that the Chiefs are going to three-peat. And all season long, I said, no, the Chiefs won't three-peat because too many people will have bet on that. That if they make it to the Super Bowl, there'll be too many futures bets on them. So no way the Chiefs are three-peating. And now that we're there, now I'm not so sure that there's enough money bet on the Chiefs for them to for sure lose. So I'm kind of not sure. Whereas if you'd have told me, a couple weeks ago, I'd have said no way that the Chiefs are three-peating because there's just going to be too many futures bets. So if we were to take into account futures bets, there has to be more futures bets on the Chiefs than the Eagles. Because how many people were picking the Eagles all year long to win? Not that many, especially not in my comment section. Whereas I probably saw 1,000, 2,000 comments this year throughout the year. Whenever I would make a top 10 most rigged video, people would say the Chiefs are going to three-peat. So people have been predicting the Chiefs three-peat all year long and even in the off season. So my guess is the number of futures bets on the Chiefs is more than the number of futures bets on the Eagles. Now, is there enough money that has come in on the Eagles to even that out? I don't know. That sweet metal dude says Eagles win big to make it look lock. I guess you mean make it look legit, make it look real. See, it's not scripted. It's not rigged for the Chiefs because the Eagles won by 2 scores. So if they had the Eagles win convincingly, they could play the card afterwards that all you guys who thought it was rigged, you're wrong. All you guys who thought that the refs were helping the Chiefs cheat, well, you're wrong. See, they could do that for sure. And then, of course, if they have the Eagles win, then that means Taylor Swift has to pretend to be sad. Are they going to have Taylor Swift pretend to be sad? We all know the football players, they can pretend to be upset because they probably are a little bit upset that their team doesn't get chosen to win. So you can, when your team loses the Super Bowl, probably be a little bit disappointed that they didn't pick you. You know what I mean? You even though it's predetermined, you can still show your disappointment on your face that they didn't pick your team to win. But Taylor Swift, are they going to have her pretend to be upset and hug Kelsey afterwards and be like, oh, I'm sorry you didn't win, baby. Oh, I'm so sorry. Right? Are they going to have her pretend like she's upset? Or are they going to have her, do what she did last year and celebrate? We get another Taylor Swift celebration. Some people have said that this is the year we get the Taylor Swift, Travis Kelce proposal. That Travis Kelce wins, or Chiefs win the Super Bowl, three-peat. Kelce takes a knee, proposes to Taylor Swift. She says yes. Fade to black. I predicted that might happen last year, but then I changed my mind and said that that was betting bait. And then I went with the Niners. So perhaps they go with the marriage proposal this year. Or perhaps that's betting bait and Taylor Swift pretends to be sad and the Chiefs lose. What's it going to be, guys? Is she going to pretend to be sad? Or are they going to let Taylor celebrate the victory and then she gets proposed to? She says yes. Oh my God, fade to black. Boosh Comics says, what are the odds Taylor Swift's Johnson pops out live on TV? 0%. 0%. Not because she doesn't have one. Just because there's no way they would ever let that wardrobe malfunction happen. Wardrobe malfunctions are planned, but that ain't one that they're going to plan. They ain't going to let that Johnson out of the bag, so to speak. Matthew McGee says last minute or comeback win, possible overtime. Well, you got to figure that they did overtime last year and then they did a super close game the year before. So the last two Super Bowls have been nail biters. So do they go with the outright, 2-3 score win this year? Or do they go with a straight up blowout? Every once in a while you get that Super Bowl blowout, Like the Bucks beat the Chiefs pretty handily when they played. And then you have that year where the Broncos dismantled the Panthers. And then you have that year where the Seahawks dismantled the Broncos, right? So sometimes they do throw in that boring beatdown. Then there was that year where the Patriots whooped the Rams. That one sucked. So every once in a while they have a sucky Super Bowl. Back in the 90s, there was a string of boring blowout beatdown games. And of course, Zach Hubbard will tell you, take both teams on the money line. Congrats to the winners. We've been saying since the beginning of the season that it was going to be a repeat of the Eagles and the Chiefs. Guys, literally, I could wipe my ass with the name Nostradamus. Literally. Congrats to the winners. So now here's the flip side. And I thought of this one the other night. If the Chiefs lose and they have Taylor Swift pretend to be upset, you could then hear rumblings of trouble in paradise. And then during the off season, they split. Taylor Swift goes off her way. The NFL splits and goes their way. And then the two of them end their business relationship. That's also a possibility. So Chiefs lose, and then Taylor Swift and Kelce split in the off season. So if they have a business relationship, which a lot of us think that it's a fake relationship set up entirely for business reasons, the NFL and Taylor Swift can end their business relationship and the two of them split up and go their separate ways. The NFL might say, okay, we tried to do this Taylor Swift thing to entice new fans and get new people watching. It didn't quite work out, and it drove away some of our longtime hardcore fans. So let's end the Taylor Swift Kelce thing in the offseason. They might end it. So we have to consider, if the Chiefs lose, that the next domino that falls is that she leaves Kelce. Because let's face it, he ain't breaking up with her. TRX and Troll says Travis Kelce is the character Wayne Grow from Heat. Interesting. I've never heard anyone say that. And I haven't looked into that claim at all. So perhaps you're right. I have no idea. So yeah, we have to consider that the business relationship between Kelce and Swift comes to an end at some point. I mean, are they really going to get married and have kids and like live happily ever after? That's typically not how these Hollywood romances work. So them breaking up during this off season, I think that might be what happens. I'm not going to say that's for sure what's going to happen, but I'm going to throw it out there and say the NFL and Taylor might be going their separate ways real soon. Okay, so with that said, I'm going to open up the chat. I'm going to let guests come on, and I want some guests to come on and give me reasons why you think one side's going to win or the other side's going to win, whatever. Come on and tell me. So any of you Gematria guys, I'm going to give you the opportunity to come on and do your Gematria decodes. Any of you disgruntled sports fans who think for sure you have this figured out, I'm going to give you the opportunity to come on and present why you think one team's going to win, right? So if you think it's going to be the Chiefs three-peating, come on and let me know. But give me good reasons. If you come on here and go, I think it's going to be the Chiefs because Taylor Swift, nobody needs to hear that. I want to hear some good takes, some different takes. So nobody wants to hear you think the Eagles are going to win because you think that they're a better football team. We will laugh you out of the room. I'll boot you off the stream. Don't come on here and tell me you think one team's better than the other or has a better defense. Don't want to hear it. I want to hear some real decodes. I want some real information. So with that said, here is the stream link in the chat. And I'll even pin it. In the Super Bowl poll, you guys have Chiefs 62%. 62% of you have the Chiefs winning. Hey, Lee, glad you could make it, buddy. I don't see you on here that often, man. I wondered where you've been. I got a super chat coming in. I'll read that before anyone joins. All right. So Lee anti-NWO says, hi, Jake. Just thought I would update you. My relationship ended, lost everything, never stopped watching you, mate. I'm back on top now. I feel like I can interact with people and show my mod face. Hey, glad you're back. I wondered what happened to you. And sorry to hear about your relationship ending. Relationships are hard, man. In 2025, there's more and more people just being single and being done with dating for good. So, I had my last relationship ended like 8 years ago, and I haven't been in a relationship since. So I feel for you, brother. But it says you're back on top. So I'm glad to hear that you're back on top. Glad to see you. Thank you for the donation, buddy. I appreciate that. All right. First up to the stage, we got Sir Drop TV. All right. Sir Drop TV.
How's it going, man?
Who do you think is going to win the Super Bowl?
I think Kansas City refs gonna win, but I'm wondering if they're gonna try to save face and switch the role, because there's a lot of going around about how the refs be cheating, So I'm wondering, are they going to flip the whole script this game? That's what I'm not for sure on.
Yeah, see, I would have guessed that the majority of the money would be on the Chiefs hand over fist. So then over this like last week, every time I checked the sites, it showed all the money was mostly on the Eagles on the money line and the spread. And so then I was scratching my head. And then today, when I was going to do this stream, now suddenly they flipped the money on the money line to the Chiefs. So now it's more money on the Eagles on the spread, more money for the Chiefs on the money line. So it's like if you go to these sites, they're putting you in a bit of a 50-50 bind, right? And so then you have to think that more money probably came in on the Chiefs in futures bets. So I would guess overall that there's more money on the Chiefs. And if they wanted to convince people, that the refs aren't helping the Chiefs and no, the league isn't helping the Chiefs to cheat to win, that would be a good reason to have the Eagles win. So I'm kind of with you on that. But I ain't confident about that pick. If I wouldn't feel confident telling people to pony up their money on the Eagles. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because the storyline also, they're going to make a lot of money off the storyline if Mahomes three-peat. Then you got the Brady GOAT thing. You got a lot of other things they can make more money on as far as the storyline. So it's interesting. It's 50-50 with me, but I wouldn't put my money against the Chiefs. I'm not doing that no more.
So you're thinking more so the Chiefs. Like what? Give me a percentage. What are you on? 60-40 Chiefs or what?
I'm 50-50, but 51-49. I know it's going to be super rigged. I just don't know which way they swing it. If we going off the trophies, the red, you got the Chiefs. We going off the refs, you got the Chiefs. If they don't want Mahomes to top Brady, you got the Eagles. If they want to showcase Saquon.
Oh, I'm sorry, dude. I accidentally. My bad. Didn't mean to do that. You're back. Go ahead and finish up your sentence, buddy. I didn't mean to do that.
But anyway, I do think it's going to end with the Chiefs stopping the tush push. That's just what I think. But if they want to showcase Saquon Barkley, I think it's more money in it for the NFL, if not the betting sites, but in general, if the Chiefs three-peat.
Gotcha. All right. Thanks, buddy. And I appreciate your input. That's Sir Drop TV. Got some super chat donations. Let me get to these super chats real quick, and then I'll get to more guests. And One Ballers with a donation says, "Do you believe in Jesus? Do you believe he is God?" I don't subscribe to any book gods. I believe the earth is created. I believe this realm is created. By who or what, I do not know. I don't claim to know. And so I am not a religious guy, but I'm also not an atheist. So I definitely believe this realm was created. I don't subscribe to mainstream science at all, but I don't know how this realm was created or by what. And I don't, like I said, I don't subscribe to any book gods, because these books that feature these gods, these books are manipulated by men. The words in these books come from men, and I've learned that men are liars. So I don't trust men, and I don't trust the religions we've been given. And so I personally, I don't know for a fact who is God, and I don't know if Jesus is God or not. And that's just me being honest. Now, I do have quite a bit of Christian followers, and I've always been honest and said, hey, this realm is created. I just don't know by who or what. And I'm not the type of guy that will just blindly put my faith in a book or a religion. All right. Thank you, and One Ballers. And then I had a few other super chats coming in as well. And then I'll get to the rest of these guests, pull up as many as I can. We got a huge crowd today. Over 700 watching. That's awesome. And IUCIA, I don't know how to say this. Luciara says nothing. No message, just a donation. So thank you for the super chat donation. IUCiara. I think I saw another couple super chats coming in. Boosh Comics says, "Don't worry, bro. One day soon you'll meet your Jessica the asshole." Yeah, it would be nice if a female who was interested in me would come along, but it seems like ever since that last pandemic, my options have been dwindling, and years ago the channel used to get me laid, but it hasn't in a long time. So yeah, that would be nice if there was a girl out there watching who would show her interest and snatch me up, but perhaps that's just a fairy tale. Ayuciara says Mahomes equals Brady light. Super Bowl loss to Philly is on brand. Mahomes equals Brady light. Interesting. Super Bowl loss to Philly is on brand. Well, Mahomes lost to Brady, and then Brady lost to Foles, and he lost to Peyton Manning's little brother, Eli, right? So there were those Super Bowls where the Patriots had way too much money on them, and then they went out there and lost. So, yeah, we could see Mahomes blow this one for sure. Got another super chat coming in, and then I'll get to some of you guys waiting in the backstage area. I see all you guys waiting in the backstage area. Let me catch up on these super chats, and then I'll bring up some more guests. All right. Kelly Christine says, Kelsey and Swift signed a 3-year contract to act like they're together. My guess is Kansas City three-peats. I'll be your girl, Jake. Oh, you will? Sweet, it's that easy. Well, I guess I have a girlfriend now, you guys. Kelly Christine. And by her profile picture, she looks like she might even be cute. So that's good. Sweet. I'm not single anymore. Where do you live? Do you live 3,000 miles away? That's usually how it goes. Usually women who are interested in me live across the country. And then they usually have some kids from another marriage. And then they're usually still married. I guess we're going to have to get in contact and talk on the phone, huh, Kelly? If you're being serious. Dude, did I hit the nail on the head, or did I not hit the nail on the head? I live in upstate New York, 3,000 miles away across the country, and I got 3 kids. So yeah, you're a stepdad. Well, you know what? Being that my options have dwindled down to next to nothing, that's like one of the only offers from any girl I've gotten in quite a while. So you know what? I'm not going to dismiss it. So you might be in luck. All right. So I guess we're going to have to get in touch after the stream. Kelly Christine. All right, here. I will I'll put my Facebook in the chat. And then if you're friends with me on Facebook or already, then I guess you've already added me. But if you aren't, then you can add me on Facebook. We can chat when the stream's over tomorrow or whenever. So there you go. Here's my Facebook. And any of you guys who want to add me on Facebook, I'm not on there that much, but I do promote my videos on there. All right. All right. I don't want to make this about me and my non-existent dating life. So let's go ahead and get to some more guests. Like one of my longtime supporters here. We got Holden. Holden, who's going to win the Super Bowl?
Can you hear me? Can you hear me well, Jake?
Yes. Who's going to win the Super Bowl?
I believe it's definitely going to be the Chiefs. I don't even think there's a question about it. So if you remember last year, after the Chiefs won, we were, watching all the stuff that happened with the Bang Bang Pow Pow event. And the lady messed up on the news really bad and said it took hundreds and hundreds of hours to get set up for that parade. Well, I've been looking for the parade stuff. Kansas City has been spending over $1 million on it, and Philly has done nothing. Like last year when the Niners did nothing and Kansas City had all that parade stuff set up. And I think not only that, I think they're scripting another Bang Bang Pow Pow event because you know what's been going on the last few Super Bowls right afterwards. So maybe they have a parade again and then that happens again.
You know what?
So that's what I'm thinking.
Not a bad prediction. And I mentioned last year that if we can figure out what city's planning the parade,
Kansas City.
And so I didn't know how to go about figuring that out. And I don't want to go down some rabbit hole where I think I've got the city figured out planning the parade and then get the pick wrong and then have people be like, I thought you knew about the parade, right? So
it sounds like some school districts.
What did you do exactly? Can you explain how you figured out this information about the parade?
So I watched both the local medias of Kansas City and Philadelphia. It sounds like some of the school districts are even telling the kids not to go to school already. Like, how do they know that they're going to win unless if they know for a fact they're going to win? And then the money count is pretty obvious. Chiefs spending over $1 million, Philly spending nothing. And Niners spent nothing last year. So to me, it just seems obvious. And they're already talking about adding like hundreds and hundreds of security guards and then on top of that,
because they did that one right when the season ended, and then I did a breakdown of that video, and I didn't say anything about it because that's how if you give your opinion on one of those and say that it's not real, they take your video down. But what I did do was show that one of the little kids who was there, he was smiling and he was saying that he got stepped on and trampled, and so they shut down the comments. YouTube shut down the comments on that video over and over and over again, but they did leave it standing. So interesting. If they do that again this year, yeah, that would be a bit of a giveaway. But people are so stupid; they wouldn't think
exactly.
They would just think it's
they don't know to look for that.
And got a guy here who agrees with you. He says, from Local Enterprise Broadcasting, it says, glad I caught your live stream. I think it's a work for the Chiefs, and $50 million to Mr. Pfizer. Now the three-peat ouchie is coming. So this guy agrees with you. Thank you, Local Enterprise Broadcasting, for the super chat donation. All right, Holden, I got probably 10 people in the backstage, so I'm going to let you go. But thank you for your prediction on the Chiefs, buddy, and
of course
we'll keep an eye on it. Thanks for the donation earlier.
Jake,
what's up?
Real quick, when are we going to actually meet each other? I've been kind of wanting to, and I know we only live like 20 minutes away.
We'll have to set something up soon, buddy. We'll figure out something soon. All right.
Yeah.
All right, we'll get to the next person. Here we got Goat Messi. Who do you think's going to win the Super Bowl?
Can you hear me?
Hello? All right, yeah, now I can hear you. Who's going to win the Super Bowl?
You hear me? Super Bowl. Listen, it's the Chiefs, and I'm going to give you why. All right. You know Lil Wayne? Supposedly he was supposed to be performing, but he's not, right? But he's from New Orleans. He got the album called The Carter 3. He got a song in there named Three P. I'm not sure if you big fan of him. That's one thing. Patrick Mahomes, number 15. And there's 14 professional teams that has been three-peated, like all sports, like professional sports, not college. It's 14 teams, and Patrick Mahomes won 15. I think tomorrow he's gonna complete that, and then so it. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you cut out a little bit and you were lagging, but I basically caught what you said. So you're on the Chiefs.
Yeah. Sports, not 14 teams that have been three-peated. Number 15,
Yeah, we're gonna have to let you go. We couldn't hear you at all, bro. It was like you're having some technical issues, bro. All right, let me get to the next person. GBT 1978 says, I believe it's all about where the most money is on each team. The money is 50-50. Chiefs most likely win. If the money is heavy on the Chiefs, then the Eagles will win. Yeah, but you didn't help nobody. You just said, I think the money's on this 50-50. If it's on this team wins. If it's on the other team wins. Yeah, well, we already know that. I mean, thanks for the donation, but yeah, you're just telling us what we already know. So yeah, we were trying to figure out when I was showing the websites with the betting splits where the money's at, but they show that 70% of the money is on the Chiefs on the money line, and then 70% of the money is on the Eagles on the spread. So then we don't know what pile of money's bigger. We don't know the pile of the money size on the money line. We don't know the size of the pile of money on the spread. So we can't compare the two piles of money. All we can do is look at those percentages and then try and guess which side has the most money. So I still think the total money would probably be more on the Chiefs because of futures bets. Because at the beginning of the season, Chiefs are defending Super Bowl champs 2 years in a row. More people are inclined to bet on the three-peat. And then throughout the season, Chiefs are kicking ass, winning games left and right. I'm guessing, at the beginning of the season, middle of the season, before the playoffs started, people are betting on the Chiefs to three-peat. So you have to compare futures bets on the Chiefs to futures bets on the Eagles. Way more money going to be on the Chiefs and futures bets. So is there enough money coming in on the Eagles to override all the Chiefs' money and the futures bets? That I'm not sure of. And Ayuciara, or Luciara, whatever it is, says, I would, but Kelly was first, so I'll let her have this. Oh, are you also a girl who's interested? Hey, I'm single and looking to mingle. And so if there's, several different women who are watching now who are interested, I will talk to each and every one of you individually and see which one of you I connect with the most and then make my decision from there. See? So I want to give any women who are watching now who are interested a fair opportunity. So Luciara or Ayuciara or whatever your name is. Here's my Facebook. Send me a friend request and a message and we'll chat. All right. Next up, we got the overseer. Who's going to win the Super Bowl?
Eagles are definitely going to win it this year. I think they're going to pull the rug out from all the gamblers that are bet on the Chiefs. I just believe that with the futures and the money being bet on this Super Bowl, I feel like there's more money on the Chiefs if you just have common sense. And I just feel like it's not even going to be a close game this year because everyone's expecting that close, exciting game. I think the Chiefs are going to handle them. And I think I apologize. I think the Eagles are going to handle the Chiefs. and I think the Eagles are going to take it. And also, there are some gematria numbers that line up with the Eagles winning it. I don't know if you want me to throw those at you too.
Yeah, let's hear it.
Okay, so basically, before I throw the gematria numbers at you, you remember O.J. Simpson died before the season this year. And usually, there'll be an NFL player that dies before any season with any sport. It could be not just NFL, but O.J. Simpson was number 32, and currently Patrick Mahomes is 3-1 in Super Bowls. And if he were to lose this year, he would fall to 3-2. And the Eagles equal 32, the Chiefs equal 32, and also the Chiefs as a franchise would fall to 4-3 in Super Bowls, and Kansas equals 43. So I just feel like a lot of things, just where the money is and gematria wise, I feel like everything goes towards the Eagles. And another thing, there's like a lot of numbers. People are thinking that if the Eagles were to lose this as a franchise, they would be 666 in 666. So I think a lot of people thinking that's going to happen. I think that's not going to happen. And
I was just going to bring that up. And so thank you for bringing that up and saying that you think that's more like bait, like betting bait.
Exactly. And that's pretty much all I have, man.
You know what? Not a bad take. You're the first guest to come on and pick the Eagles so far, and so I'm interested to hear each person's take. You know what I mean, and like what goes into a person making their decision. And so what you just said, completely different from some of these other takes. So I like it. All right, so we got Overseer on the Eagles.
Appreciate it, man.
All right, man. Thanks for coming on. I'm going to get to the next guy here. We got Shepardo Fire or Shepherd of Fire. Shepardo.
Hey. It's all good. What's going on, Jake? How are you, brother?
Good. What's up, dude?
Hey, man, I got the Chiefs taking it, brother. And the reason being is they've already performed so many rituals leading up to the Super Bowl. I believe that it has to be the Chiefs. And if not, then it's a money grab anyway, right? But the reason is, listen, they had the Indian Blackhawk, right? Who used to be a chief, right? The Blackhawk used to be a chief. It crashed into an American Eagle airline. Okay? And it crashed where?
In Philadelphia.
See? You're crashing Philadelphia's party.
Okay, you guys, the Philadelphia plane crash. We'll talk about that for a second. So it came from Kansas, departed from Kansas, Wichita, Kansas.
Yep.
And then it crashed in Philadelphia. So there you have the two Super Bowl teams, Philadelphia, Kansas City. Of course, there's Kansas City, Missouri, but there's also Kansas City, Kansas. So the fact that the plane left Kansas, crashed in Philly, that has people looking at that going, oh, that's kind of a crazy coinkydink. And then
actually, Jake, I don't want to cut you off. There's a lot of people at work who are thinking, oh, well, because it crashed in Philadelphia, that means that they're going to give it to the Eagles and it's like, dude, oh my gosh.
You see, there was also a crash in Washington, D.C., and then the Eagles played Washington Commanders, and the Commanders lost. And so you got to look at like, oh, man, look at these plane crashes in these cities that are lining up with these NFL teams. Definitely some crazy shit there. And then remember last year they had those Chiefs fans that mysteriously died. Remember?
Yeah. The three, they died from hypothermia.
And the media referred to them as Chiefs fans,
correct,
rather than people, right? And so my thing last season was like, well, what if it was a Kansas City Chiefs fan, a Raiders fan, and then a guy who doesn't care about football? Would they be like a Chiefs fan, a Raiders fan, and a guy who doesn't watch football died? No, it was Chiefs fans died. They were referred to as the Chiefs fans, like by the fucking news, right?
It's the worst, brother. I mean, sometimes I hate the fact that they use us as pawns, and I mean, it is what it is. But as long as, we have a community that knows this stuff, they can't really use it against us, really. we just have to call it out as much as possible, man.
So you're on the Chiefs.
Yeah. I think the Chiefs are going to take it. You know, the NFL wants something that's never been done before. The Patrick Mahomes era. Brady cheated to get all those, you know, Belichick and the Spygate, Deflategate, blah, 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 blah. So they want something to kind of wipe that under the rug. So what's the worst? Oh, the refs helped Kansas City to get it? Quote, the refs. Right. So
if they were to have the Chiefs just blow the doors off the Eagles without needing the refs to help, like, people would fucking hate it, but then they wouldn't be able to say it was the refs' fault.
Exactly. So that's why either way, the way that this Super Bowl goes, if the Chiefs start blowing the doors off the Eagles, or if the Eagles start blowing the doors off the Chiefs, now it's all, oh, well, it can't be the refs. The refs aren't. So that way all the normies can continue their Sunday, Thursday, Monday night fucking watching. And, you know, sorry, didn't mean to cuss, Jake.
Oh, no, dude, I've cussed like 100 times already, so it's all good, dude. So are you betting on the game?
I don't bet any money, man. This government already takes enough of my money through taxes and everything else, so fuck them. I ain't even trying to chance it.
Hey, I'm glad to hear that, because, you know, chancing your money on the NFL, that's what they want you to do. They want you to make a bet, you know, even if you're on the winning side, they want you to be enticed the next year to bet more. You know what I'm saying? So they don't give a shit if you pick the right team and you win, because now they got you hooked, right? And if you bet, then you're inclined to watch. So my thing is like, I don't even really want to watch, but since I'm going to do a Super Bowl breakdown video and I'm going to make money off doing a Super Bowl breakdown video, I feel like, you know, it's kind of part of my job to watch and see if anything out of the ordinary goes down. But like this whole season, I didn't watch any of the games. I only watched the highlights. So if I did watch, this would be like the only game all season. And,
yeah, I watched a lot of the Ravens games during the season. I do live in Baltimore though. But I mainly watch it for entertainment purposes now. I do watch it to see like, I watch it for the scripted interceptions, like the scripted fumbles and stuff like that. I watch it and I try and tell my family and friends and all, and you know, it is what it is. Some of them start to believe it, and a lot others this year mainly, but other people are still subject to just eating it.
All right, cool. All right, man. Thanks for coming on and giving us your opinion, and I appreciate it, man.
Absolutely, Jake. Thank you, man. You do a lot for everybody here in this community, man. So we thank you.
Oh, well, thank you again, man. I appreciate it. And I'll go ahead and get to the next dude here. That was Shepherd of Fire, everybody. He was a nice guy. All right. Dre Day. What's up?
Hey, what's going on?
Who's going to win the Super Bowl?
I think it's hands down Kansas City. I'm going to give you 3 reasons for the three-peat. Reason number 1, at the end of the day, they want to have the argument of who's better, Tom Brady or Patrick Mahomes. And Patrick Mahomes ain't never going to win 8 Super Bowls. He ain't even going to sniff 7 to tie. Reason number 2, they got the Eagles' all-time record 666 and 665. And the people who run this world, that's their favorite number. So they're going to love the chance to mirror those numbers. And reason number 3, if you go to drudgereport.com, the picture they have is of the Chiefs. They show you 3 numbers. They got Travis Kelce, the back of his jersey, 87. His shoulder, 87. Mahomes, 15. If you know how these numbers break down, they break down to one number. So 8 plus 7 is 15. 8 plus 7 is 15. And then you take the 15, the 15, the 15, it's 666 again.
Oh, okay. Interesting. All right. So far we got like 4 people have picked the Chiefs and only the one guy picking the Eagles. And then my poll that I have here in chat is showing 62% of you guys are picking the Chiefs. So that's like almost 2/3 of everyone here picking the Chiefs.
Oh yeah, Chiefs all day.
All right. And did you give all 3 of your reasons? I don't know if you did or not.
Oh, yeah, I'll repeat it. I'll say for the Mahomes Brady controversy discussion. Who's better? Because Brady ain't never three-peated. For the Eagles, they're 666 and 665. They're going to mirror that number. Because who runs this world, they love that number. And then the Drudge Report, if you go on that website, the picture they have is the Chiefs, and they flash you three numbers, 87, 87, 15. You break all those numbers down, 666 again.
All right. So we got another guy for the Chiefs, and he likes the 666 breakdown. All right. All right. Thanks, Dre Day. I appreciate you coming on and giving us your thoughts. I'm going to get to the next guy. All right. On to the next guy. And the next guy's calling himself Chiefs three-peat. So we already know what he's going to pick. The Eagles, right?
Jake, what's up? Can you hear me?
Yeah. What's up, dude?
Yeah, listen, I got a couple reasons why the Chiefs. One, we got to have the Brady debate like LeBron and Jordan. That's one thing. Number two, you know Lil Wayne, right? The rapper.
Yeah.
Officially, he's from New Orleans. He got that album where he got that one song on it. It's called Tweet Pete. And where's the Super Bowl gonna be hosted? In New Orleans. Apparently, he was supposed to be the one performing at halftime, but he's not. It's Kendrick. That's fine. And if you look, professional sport, not college, there's 14 professional sports that has been three-peated. 14. Patrick Mahomes wearing number 15. And I think tomorrow he's going to accomplish that, make it 15 professional sports to accomplish that since the Lakers and 02. Listen, I don't see the Chiefs losing at all. I'm pretty sure Donald Trump going to be there, and I'm sure he's a big fan of the Chiefs. I remember when he won, I think Patrick Mahomes saluted him or something, if I'm not mistaken.
All right, so I see that you have Chiefs gear on. So you are an actual Chiefs fan? Like, do you buy tickets and go to the games yourself or what?
I'm going to be honest with you, no. That's no. It just, I go with the script. Whoever I see, like, I'm always right on the Super Bowls. You know what I'm saying? So that's how my good luck is. And let me tell you another thing.
You're not a hardcore Chiefs fan. You're just wearing the logo.
Yeah. I got money on them too, and it's gonna be 2 years in a row where I make like double figures, like 6K, 9K. Tomorrow, if they hit, I'm hitting 10 grand. And let me tell you another thing. You think the Chiefs would be in there if they were not gonna go to three-peat? You think?
Well, see, here's what I was thinking was that they were going to tease the three-peat, but then they would come up short, kind of like when the Patriots went undefeated, but then they came up short. So here's my thoughts with the argument between Brady and Mahomes. You also have the argument of who's the greatest dynasty. And if you have the Chiefs three-peat, well, then now there is no fucking argument. So that means every bar in America, everyone just has to admit that the Chiefs are the greatest. And to me, I think if the Eagles win, then you can't say the Chiefs are the greatest dynasty.
Yeah. Then they kill it.
Because they came up short. Because
but another thing is
all the old school Steelers fans like to say that the 70s Steelers were the best. All the Cowboys fans like to say that the 90s Cowboys were the best. 49ers fans like to say that the old Joe Montana 49ers were the best. And so if you look at all the teams that repeated, there's several teams, and you end the discussion if you have one team three-peat. You end the discussion of who's the greatest franchise ever. So to me, I thought that was a reason why they wouldn't have Kansas City three-peat.
Okay,
but
now so I think it's gonna go like that. Patrick
now
Mahomes
that it's
people,
here, you might be right. You might be right.
Because Patrick Mahomes people gonna be like, we three-peated, and the Brady people gonna be like, we have 7 rings. Can you get 7? I think that's how it's gonna go. It's gonna be, and another thing, the Saquon Barkley, like, watch him don't even go over 100 yards. What do you think?
Too many people are probably going to be on prop bets on Barkley.
Yes, and if the games are real, he should be going for 200 yards, right?
Dude, if the games were real, like it wouldn't look anything like what we've been. If the games were real, they would be defensive struggles, and good teams would blast bad teams by 40 points, and it wouldn't even be watchable. And Brady would have never won a single Super Bowl. So if the games were real, none of these conversations would even be happening.
Facts. Listen, I think there's gonna be a lot of penalties on the Eagles, like 5 yard, 15 yards, automatically first down. It's gonna be crazy.
Now, what you're saying about Barkley not going for 100, you might be right. If people bet on Barkley to score and Barkley to go off, Barkley might fucking get injured in the first quarter.
It's gonna be. He probably gonna score one touchdown, but over 100 yards, I don't know about that. And I don't even think they're gonna give Patrick Mahomes the MVP. It's probably gonna go to Kelsey because of that Taylor Swift thing. Who knows? It's gonna be crazy.
Let me read some super chats real quick. Scott Loves Sherry coming in with a super chat. No message, but a super chat. Thank you, Scott Loves Sherry. And then I got another one coming in from Steve Tomato. Says, remember last year they planned the Super Bowl winners parade months in advance? Did we figure out who was planning the parade this year? You make great content, Jake, even when it's about sports. So Holden came on and told us that Kansas City is preparing for the parade again. But another guy in chat said that they're canceling the parade because of the bang, bang, pow, pow that went down last year. So I actually don't know for sure whether they're planning a parade or not. I actually couldn't tell you.
It's crazy. It's crazy. Listen, I have a question that always triggers me. It's weird. I can never got the right answer. You know, when the championships are happening and the shirts that says this team is a champion, do they make them like right after? Like why does shit just come out like seconds after? You see what I'm saying?
Oh, after these incidents go down?
No. You know, let's say a final example, Chief Eagles, right? And let's say Chief wins. That's what I'm hoping. And then right when the Chiefs wins, they come out with the Chief shirt saying three-peat. Like when did they make them?
So what they'll tell you is that they have both teams winning shirts made, and that the team
I don't believe that.
They say the team that loses, they send those shirts over to poor countries. So if you go to like Ghana or whatever, you'll find a kid who has the fucking the Eagles winning the championship. Even
but I don't think I've never seen anything like that. I doubt it.
I know, but that's what they're going to tell you. So their excuse is that they print up the shirts for both sides, and that they destroy the shirts for the losing team, or they send those to poor people.
Yeah, I heard you can't even get the touchdown ball because there's a guy saying that he tried to get a touchdown ball. They would not let him get it.
All right. Well, thanks for coming on and giving your thoughts. I'm going to get to some of these next people.
Yep. Next person. All right, man. Be safe. I think after the Super Bowl, you're going to come live, right?
Oh, yeah. I'll do a breakdown, and then I do a live stream every week. So I at least do one every week.
Okay. All right. You be safe. Enjoy it, and then we'll see you after, okay?
All right. Thanks for coming on, buddy.
Peace out.
All right. Got another super chat from EM Boss. Says, Jake, so much respect for your work and efforts in spreading the truth. I wanted to ask for your Beagle's social media channel. Thanks. Oh, my Beagle, Ralphie. Yeah, Ralphie's channel is called Ralphie the Cute Beagle. Let me pull it up. And I need to post a new video. I haven't posted anything over there lately because I've been working on other videos like every day. So once the NFL season's over and I'll have a little more free time, I'll try and post more stuff. But I have some videos posted over here of Ralphie, but I need to post some new ones. It's been like several days since I posted any. Here it is. Ralphie the Cute Beagle. So if you guys want to keep up with my dog and his channel, he's got a small channel here called Ralphie the Cute Beagle. And so I got video of when I picked him out, when I brought him home the first day, taking him to the beach for the first time, teaching him how to play fetch, him at the dog park meeting other dogs. So basically it's cute beagle content. So if you want to keep up with my cute puppy, subscribe to Ralphie the Cute Beagle. And thank you, EM Boss, for the donation. And yeah, Ralphie looks forward to you watching and commenting. All right. Lace for life. Who's going to win the Super Bowl?
He's the owner. And there's the GM.
Lace for life.
Defense coordinator.
Hello.
Coaches.
Averaged 34, 10, and 9 and dominated any defense teams would throw at it. Luka has shown he can dominate on the biggest stage.
This guy's watching
between
Sports
embarrassing
Center,
the
not
Suns
paying
in Game
attention.
7 on the road, crossing up Rudy Gobert for the win in the Western Conference Finals, and hitting a game winner.
Hey,
in
you
the
big
bubble
idiot!
playoffs versus the Clippers. There
You're
is
live!
nothing this man cannot do.
Okay. We'll come back to him. Chew Man. Who's
Can
going to
you
win
hear
the
me?
Super Bowl? Yeah, I hear you. What's up? Who's going to win?
Yeah, I think I got a couple of things on it. I think the Chiefs are going to win only because of the black quarterback narrative. There hasn't been a black quarterback to win a Super Bowl that hasn't played for a team named after an Indian. So you had Doug Williams.
Yeah, but Doug Williams was actually black, whereas Mahomes is half white.
Well, I mean, that's what you sound like a fanboy now. Sorry about
but
that.
I'm just being real though. Mahomes isn't exactly black, and if you notice,
His father is.
If you notice, they like to promote these.
Well, that's where the NFL can even. Yeah, it's the NFL that's doing this. It's not me. The NFL is racist, and you point that out.
Yeah, they usually like to throw the blackest QBs under the bus, right?
They
usually don't let them win.
So did they drop the score in the DC plane that got hit by the helicopter with the tail number? The tail number was 53-42, and I think that's the mirror image of the score, 35-24.
I had no idea. That's news to me. I did not know about that.
Look for that, maybe. If people want to bet on the exact score, I for one won't be betting, but that's pretty much. Oh, and then the gematria thing on it. Andy Reid could pick up his 29th postseason win on 2/9. The Chiefs can become the 15th team ever, sports team, to a three-peat, and Mahomes wears 15. They double code that. I think a lot of times they try to trick the Zachs of the world, whoever. They try to trick that crowd.
Zach is contracted to give out losing picks. So I think Zach is told who to give picks out to beforehand, because every season he has a losing season overall. But there'll be a few weeks out of the year where he does good. And so, but overall, if you bet on all of Zach's picks, then you're down. And so Sports Gematria channel keeps track of all his picks. So I think Zach is a contracted shill who's
I agree with you.
To give out losing picks.
And then watch what Kendrick Lamar is going to wear when he comes out at halftime. If he wears whatever color he's wearing, that might be an indication on who's going to win.
Yeah, but see, last year they went away from that. So
they rug pulled everyone on that and the trophy. If you remember last year, it was a purple red trophy.
The logo. So last year the logo and the halftime performance.
So this year they might be back onto that.
Usher wore white, and the 49ers had on white. And then so the 2 years before, the halftime performer, what color they wore, was the same color of the team that won.
And the year before that, Snoop Dogg was wearing blue and yellow with the Rams.
Snoop Dogg wore blue and yellow, and Rihanna wore red.
So I think they rug pulled everyone last year. They might be back on it this year because it's the trophy. Right. So the logo the logo kind of looks like the Chiefs and the Eagles. with the red and the green.
No, I pointed out the logo thing like an hour or so ago and said that they're back on that. But now you just reminded me about the halftime.
With the halftime, yeah. So
And see,
watch for
they could
Kendrick.
go in an opposite direction and have the halftime performer not wear a color of either of the two teams. I mean, there's a number of different ways they could go. You know what I mean? They could swerve us, go back to the same color, or have the halftime performer not have anything to do with either of the two colors, right?
No, have you talked about the movie, The Sum of All Fears? The president was going to be at the game, and it was the first time they were making a big deal about it. The president's never been at a Super Bowl, and the movie The Sum of All Fears was about a president that went to a Super Bowl, and a nuclear bomb hit the stadium. I don't know. Not saying a nuke's going to hit New Orleans, but it is interesting that the last time a Super Bowl was in New Orleans, the lights went out. Baltimore was in that game, and the Super Bowl in The Sum of All Fears was in Baltimore.
Yeah, I remember that. See, and people were predicting that something would go down last year, but then it was just a football game. And so I don't like to make any grandiose prediction as far as something out of the ordinary happening, because chances are stronger it's just going to be another scripted phony football game.
Wouldn't it be funny if Travis Kelce fell all over Donald Trump, seeing how his girlfriend doesn't like him? And they could split up. Maybe they'll make the Chiefs lose, and the two of them break up. And Kelce, I don't know.
I brought that up earlier. I said that the NFL's relationship with Taylor Swift, as far as their business relationship is concerned, you might see Kelce and Swift break up during this offseason. So I said if the Eagles win and then Taylor Swift and Kelce break up, that could signal like the NFL and Swift going their separate ways as far as their business relationship ending. So that could be definitely something that happens. But you said you think the Chiefs are going to win, right?
I kind of think that they're gonna let the Chiefs three-peat.
So
it's more with the Indian thing.
So we got 5 people so far picking the Chiefs, and only one guy's come on and picked the Eagles. Interesting. All right, man. I'm going to get to the next person, but thank you for coming on, Chuman. I appreciate you coming on and giving your thoughts.
No problem.
Have a good day. All right. So Kelly Christine with another donation says, love finding out how many people know it's a script. Well, here in my audience, I would guess that the majority of the people here know that the games are fake and phony. We might have some new people here who wandered in here who don't know that all the games are fake, but if they watch my Super Bowl breakdown or any of my playoff breakdowns, they'll find out real quick how fake and phony it is. Thank you again, Kelly Christine. All right. And hopefully you sent me a friend request on Facebook or a message on Facebook so we can chat. All right. Next up, we got Rise Up. Rise Up. Who's going to win the Super Bowl?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Excuse me. I don't think either team is going to win.
Okay.
There's been reports of, and I know how you feel about Gematria. I feel the same way, but there is some merit to it. There are reports that they're going to blow up the Superdome tomorrow. They're going to kill everyone. Trump will be there. He will be hurt. Don't know if he'll die, but then he'll declare martial law. They'll blame it on Iran, and that will be the beginning of everything.
If that comes true, then I'm going to consider you the Captain Truth. I'm going to come to you for all my truth from now on. But I'm going to say that doesn't happen.
That's fine. That's fine.
I'm going to say that they're going to play a phony football game tomorrow and nothing out of the ordinary goes down. I'm going to take that stance because I think there's a better chance of it just being a regular old fake phony football game than something like what you're saying. Almost sounds like a 1 in a billion chance that that's going to happen.
See, and that's what they want. I'm sure people right before 9/11 said the same thing, right?
Well, there was no way to know that was going to come unless you were, somebody who was in the know. Unless you were in the know, of course. But
Bill Cooper called it months in advance, and I hate to sound like Zach, but yeah, he did. You have to keep your eye on what's really going on. You have an explosion in Philadelphia. You have another explosion from a flight out of Wichita, Kansas. You need to put this together and remember who's really in charge here. The Jesuits. The Jesuits aren't playing around. They're no joke. These guys are grade A, top of the line, and they are no punks. They rule the world. These are things that people need to know. And trust me, the plan that they have, what they have planned for New Orleans tomorrow in the Superdome, nobody will see coming. Nobody.
Well, that's quite the grandiose prediction, and I'm not going to sit here and tell you for sure it won't happen. But most everyone here is pretty skeptical of what you're predicting.
Right. And I advise everyone to take everything with a grain of salt, and I pray that I'm wrong. I'm not sitting here trying to be some sort of know-it-all or anything like that. I'm just trying to put the word out, and I hope and pray that I am wrong, because God forbid something like that happen.
Now, when you say blow it up, like they're gonna say it's like a nuke or something.
No, because it can't be a nuclear device, because all nukes have to be detonated on the ground. There's no such thing as airborne nuclear war.
I don't believe in nukes. I'm saying what they're going to say, because how is Iran going to plant explosives at the stadium without anyone noticing?
Well, they just went through a $600 million renovation with that stadium. I'm telling you, when the Jesuits want something done, they spare no expense.
I'm not saying they can't blow it up. I'm saying what are they going to say? How are they going to say that Iran or any bad guy blew it up? How's that going to work?
That I can't answer. They're going to have to do that with their own quote unquote script. But with the evidence and the numbers that I see, and I'm not the only one that's saying this, there are people out there that are fully trying to warn people about this. But this could quite possibly happen, given the situation, given the pre-programming that people have been going through for the past couple of months, with the election, with the helicopters crashing, with all this craziness. It doesn't give you the ability to really see the forest for the trees. They can do this. And it will be of shock and awe to everyone.
So Taylor Swift loses her life. Patrick Mahomes loses his life. Kelsey, all these people lose their life?
Yes. This will be the last Super Bowl.
Well, be prepared to admit that you were wrong.
Oh, I am. And I pray to God that I am. I am praying. Jake, I am praying that I am wrong and I am just some kook, nut job conspiracy theorist. I am praying for that. I really am. I don't want to see anyone hurt. I don't want to see anything happen to our country. But if something isn't done and people don't put the word out and don't pull their head out of their ass, it's a sinking ship.
Well, perhaps you just caused them to not go through with that plan because you just said it out loud.
That'd be great.
And so maybe you just saved everyone in the Super Bowl's life.
That would be amazing. But at the same time, I'm no hero. I'm no prophet. I'm not somebody who's sitting here trying to.
You're my hero. Did you ever know that you're my hero?
Love you too, Jake.
You predicted everyone will die at the Super Bowl.
I'm not predicting anything. I'm just saying, giving what I know.
You predicted everyone would die.
That's not what
wind beneath my wing.
You can mock it all you want. You can mock it all you want.
You can't expect me to just be like, yeah, he's right.
I know.
Maybe that will
I
happen.
know.
Thanks,
But if you were,
thanks for your opinion. You have to expect me to be a little bit skeptical. I mean, I could be like, dude, that's retarded. You're stupid. I'm banning you. So I'm actually being a nice guy and letting you, say your piece without making fun of you. So if I was a real dick, I'd be making fun of you right now, because there are people in chat who are making fun of you right now.
that's fine. That's fine. Laugh it up, guys. Laugh it up. We'll find out tomorrow. God forbid it really happens, because I don't want this to happen. I'm just trying to make people aware of what's going on.
So, all right. So most everybody's picking the Chiefs. One guy picked the Eagles who came on. This guy says nobody is winning the Super Bowl. Nobody. It's going to be the final Super Bowl, according to that guy. But he prays that they don't do that. Okay. Next, we got Nathaniel Arias. Nathaniel.
What's up, Jake? How are you doing?
Doing good, bro. Where are you at if it's still light outside?
I'm in Colorado. So it's
really?
Yeah.
How's that possible if it's 4 o'clock here? That means it would be like 5 o'clock where you're at. Shouldn't it be
5:17? No, it's probably because I'm on my phone. It probably makes it look brighter than what it is. So first thing my dad always told me in '97 when the Broncos played the Packers, anytime Vegas or anytime money is involved, it is fixed. So I've known it for a long time. When I found your channel, I was thrilled. I was like, thank God someone else that actually believes me and like is on the same wavelength. And not just that, on a lot of things. But my pick is the Eagles. And I'll tell you why. Gematria. Right. So here's the Gematria. Shaquan Barkley and Cooper DeJean, he's on the defense somewhere, are both birthdays tomorrow. Their birthday is January 9th. Combined, Cooper will be 22 and Shaquan will be 28. That's 50. 50, and on the 9th, 59. And then on top of it, it's one of those things too that yesterday I had a friend that sent me a clip from, it was some show on ESPN and they were talking about it. And they, in the background, it flipped on real quick and they had to turn it off. They were testing the lights and it came on Super Bowl champions Eagles just in the background and they had to turn it off quick. And I was like, what? So I slowed it down. Sure enough, it showed Eagles Super Bowl champions. I mean, they could have it ready for both, like they say with the shirts. But I was like, well, that's not coincidence. I was like, that's kind of a little odd. And then, of course, the good old, when something looks so sure, it's not. And then a lot of people are picking the Chiefs. But, just it's fun picking something else than what people are actually like saying,
now,
Oh, go ahead.
We can see that you're wearing an Eagles hoodie.
I am, yeah, I am.
So are you an Eagles fanboy?
No. I honestly somebody gave me this as a gift, and being in Colorado, everybody hates the Chiefs. So I wear it and people are like, yeah, and I'm just like, it keeps me warm and it's a nice jacket. So I don't wear it.
So you're not an NFL fan, but you just happen to have on NFL merchandise.
Yeah. And
it just happens to be the team you're picking to win the Super Bowl.
Well, and I'm not betting. I've never bet. I don't bet at all. That would be stupid. Like someone said, the government takes enough money and everything like that. Never been to an Eagles game. I've never even been to an NFL game. So
that's funny because the dude wearing a Chiefs shirt earlier basically said the same thing. Like, oh, it's just a shirt. I'm not.
Yeah, I saw that and I was like, well, okay. I got crap all the time when I was a kid. Somebody had given me a Broncos jersey and they're like, oh, you like the Broncos? I'm like, no, it was just given to me. I just have it. It's an article of clothing. So, but I mean, really though, it's going to come down to just being, it's all fixed. It's all rigged. There's not anything that's real about it. So
you're on the Eagles and because of those Gematria reasons.
I am. Yeah, realistically, I do think, probably Chiefs will win it. But me personally, I'm going to take the Eagles just for the hell of it. So, and keep up the great work, man. I love all your content. You've done a lot, again, for the community. And just in general, it's nice to have a fresh, realistic outlook that a lot of people don't have. So you take care, man. Have a good week.
All right. Thanks, buddy. And glad you could come on and give us your thoughts. Only the second guy picking the Eagles so far. So here we got Local Enterprise Broadcasting. And I think he sent a super chat earlier. What's up, dude?
Yeah, I did send a super chat, man. I just didn't get a chance to really expand on why I think the Chiefs are winning. Hang on, I gotta let my husky out real quick.
Go ahead.
Anyways, sorry about that.
No, go for it.
If not, she would have been barking through the whole thing, and it would have been annoying as hell.
Bro, I'm a dog owner. You don't gotta explain.
But yeah, dude. Here's why I honestly think the Chiefs are gonna win, and it's really simple, man. And I'm going off of the NFL's own statistics here. This doesn't require any conspiracy or anything. You cannot win that many one possession games without the league's help. It's statistically impossible. Period. End of story. Done. So if we can accept
all the players
fact,
are playing fake football. So when you say the league's help, well, as long as it's scripted that way,
that's my point. That's my overarching point. We can dice. Oh, it's the refs, it's the players and the NDAs. Hey, it's an entertainment league. It's not a sports league. All those are valid facts. But at the end of the day, if the team that keeps winning one possession scores, you cannot. There's no way that happens. That just doesn't. I would invite anyone to research sports history when that has happened. Not never.
You're preaching to the choir, bro.
Like, that's for the fanboys out there. I'm not one of those. Look, you probably believe a little more into the rigoroni side of it than I do. I think it's a little more simplistic. I think it's more like Vince McMahon's business model, if that makes sense, because you don't have to have everybody in the know. You don't have to have every player in on it. You only need a couple.
Well, let me stop you right there. But that would suggest that the third string tight end doesn't know that his teammates are faking it, but we do? Come on, dude. You telling me the backup safety doesn't see the ball banging into the fucking uprights? You don't think he sees his quarterback throwing the ball to the other team on purpose?
Of course he does.
If there was one player playing real football, that guy could fuck up the entire thing. They sign a contract before they
I agree with the NDAs.
Saying that they're going to play fake football and that they're not allowed to talk about it. So there's no such thing as somebody who's not in on it, because that would mean that they're playing real football, practicing for real. It doesn't you can't have one guy out there trying his hardest and then being like, why are all my teammates fucking up? You get what I'm saying? So whenever anyone says not all the players are in on it, I have to stop them and be like, whoa.
You kind of can, because let me explain why. Well, can we at least not accept that in any organization, in any group of individuals, there are what we call the useful idiots? Because
not
in
the NFL, because the NFL is the same as the WWE, and in the WWE, there's no guys who are fighting for real who don't know that it's fake, right? Is there a wrestler who fights for real and doesn't know it's fake?
I don't think so, no.
It's the same thing, bro. WWE is the NFL. It's the same fucking thing.
Well, put it this way: why do you think
to play football? And so
I agree.
You can't.
But why do you think the XFL didn't work? Because everybody knew that was scripted from the get-go, right?
Well, the XFL became the UFL, and the UFL is still in business.
Yeah, I guess.
and here's another point. College football at the D1 level is as fake as the NFL, meaning all the college kids are playing fake football. So college kids play fake football, get drafted to a fake phony football team. At what point is any of these real players touching a football? Bro, they aren't touching a football even in college. In college, kids are taking dives.
Well, okay,
not playing real.
Not in the higher end, but like definitely in the lower end college, they still play. But
Well,
They're
yeah,
just
bro.
trying to get to the
Games
show.
without a betting line, but those kids don't go on to be NFL players.
No, and
the guys who are playing for Alabama and Georgia and Notre Dame, they're playing fake football before they get to the NFL.
Right.
You get what I'm
because
saying?
money's already been bet on them. I understand
There's
that.
just as much
and
money
here's the other
bet
thing
on
at the
these
college level.
games.
Hey, here's the other thing at the college level. You don't even have to buy them off as high a price because number one, they want a degree, they want a placement on the team, right? They want. But here's the thing: think of it like from an entertainer's perspective. How many people audition for a role when the role's already been literally written for a certain actor? But they still have to go through the motions and do all. Those are the useful idiots. I think the NFL has some of those. I think college has plenty of those. Like I said, but your superstardom, this and that, you don't have to get everybody, is my point. You can do enough of it, and then everyone else is willing to shut up because they know there's legal ramifications for that paperwork they
Check
sign.
it out.
That's my point.
You give me the name of one player who's not in on it. And I'll go find the video. I'll go find the clip of him diving at somebody's feet.
You got me.
Bro, I am the master of this argument to where like I will defeat anybody trying to stick up for the NFL in a snap of a finger. It's like this argument is done. Like when I mentioned the WWE earlier, there's no guy who's going to go out there fighting for real that doesn't know that the business is
come on. You don't think Cody Rhodes' story? Come on, man.
so the NFL is the exact same way. There's not going to be like a backup fucking lineman who doesn't know that all his teammates are pretending.
Well, okay, but here's the other thing I'll point out. If the NFL isn't scripted, or isn't rigged or isn't influenced by outside money in any way whatsoever, it is the only case in history that's true. The NBA's been caught. The NHL's been caught. Major League Baseball, they've all been caught. Everybody's been caught at some point. Go overseas, soccer's a joke, dude. Like international sports teams in the soccer leagues, it's hilarious. Like it's so patently obvious, but they do it anyways. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm a 49ers fan. I've always liked them since I was a kid. Once it became overwhelmingly obvious they were never gonna let them win, I just watch because it's something to do, something to watch. But I don't have any delusions about what's going to happen.
When I was a kid, the 49ers won plenty of games. And when I was a little kid, I saw them kick the shit out of the San Diego Chargers. And back then that was the 5th time they had won the Super Bowl. Like, so I've seen them win a fuck ton. You know, in the 80s, I wasn't
dynasty back in the day, you know?
Yeah.
But this whole Chiefs thing, I'm sorry. I think it's the Pfizer money. I just didn't want to get you kicked off YouTube, you know. But
you can say that they won't mind about that. I only have a problem if you bring up the V word and then say that it's
I'm being very careful about my words.
Yeah, so as long as you don't mention what the V is doing to people, then we're good, dude.
But that's why I honestly, like, to expand back on my ridge, and I'll let the next caller come up. But like seriously, like I really think the 3-peat is because what were they doing last? What were they doing? Two at the same time, 2 for 1, whatever their DP subliminal messaging was for the ouchie. But who was their representative? Mr. Kelsey. You know, like he gets 50 mil to push a certain product and then gets a trophy wife out of it. But yes, as everybody's pointed out, that contract specifically said 3 years, 50 mil over 3 years. So this is the last paycheck. Now we're gonna get the 3-peat because there's already rumblings out there of a new, you know, and now you get the 3 for 1, the 3-peat. Raise it up, get your Band-Aid, bro. That's what they're gonna do. I'm sorry, man. If you don't think pharma still don't run everything, I don't know, man. I can't help you.
Oh no, dude! The NFL being brought to us by
Pfizer,
a VAXX company, says everything, right?
Well, I think they own 90% of the media space. I mean, come on. All right, Jake, keep doing what you're doing, bud. Thanks for entertaining my what do you call it, devil's advocacy. But of course, I'm a fan. Love what you do. Keep doing it.
All right, thanks, man. Thanks for coming on. All right, so there we go. got a few guys on the Eagles, but the majority of people who came on like the Chiefs. So I don't know if that means more people are on the Chiefs, so that means more money's on the Chiefs, so that means we should pick the Eagles. I honestly, guys, after hearing everybody's takes, I'm actually a bit more torn than I was before. I'm after 2.5 hours of listening to you guys and looking at all the stuff we've looked at and gone over, I actually don't know who they're going to have win this game. And I'm having a tough time even leaning one direction now. Like, I still think that there's more future bets on the Chiefs. But, man, some of these takes that you guys are coming up with are making me think it's going to be the Chiefs for the three-peat now. And I have to honestly think, are they going to have Taylor Swift pretend to be upset or not? And can they make enough money off the over and under to cancel out the money that they might lose by having the Chiefs win? Like, let's say there's more money on the Chiefs total, but they can cancel out that loss with the money they're going to win on the over under. Like, if there's a shitload of money on the over and then they have the under hit, that makes up for the money that came in on the Chiefs future bets or something. You know what I mean? You have to figure they can still get the desired result that they want, even if the money isn't quite stacked up where they want it, right? Man, I was hoping I could, listen to you guys and feel strongly on one side or the other, but I feel less strongly after listening to you guys. All right, let me check the poll and see what my voting poll is up to. So the voting poll says 62% for the Chiefs, 38% for the Eagles. Decoding Sports said Jalen Hurts can't win with the Super Bowl with a non-native team. CP Topher says, will we see Taylor Swift's balls over under? What about if we see one ball? Does that count as an under? If we see half of one of her balls? Kelly Christine says it's definitely the big pharma money. The last Trump says dog fart means Eagles win. That's right. Dog fart means Eagles win. M. Stone says Vegas makes a killing on people placing worthless prop bets and parlays. There's so many different stupid things you could bet on, and you got to look at it like a bunch of different waste bins to throw your money. So they'll have like 1,000 waste bins for you to throw your money into, and only a select number of those waste bins are going to pay. So you got to look at it like, 1,000 garbage cans, like, oh, Kelsey is going to have over 15 catches and AJ Brown is going to have, over 100 yards. And you think, oh, I'm going to throw my money at this. And then they see all the money before the game starts. They see all the money that's been bet. And they're like, oh, nobody bet on the backup tight end to score. So let's have the backup tight end score the first touchdown of the game. Just rake everyone's money, right? So expect them to rake everyone's money on the player props for sure. And I mentioned at the beginning of the stream, so I'm sure a lot of you might have missed it. Watch out for the live betting trap. If in the first quarter you see Mahomes go down, you might bet on the Chiefs to win anyway. Or if you see Hurts go down in the first quarter, get carted off the field, let's say, rather than start dumping your money on the Chiefs live, you might bet on the Eagles at that point. So if you remember game one for 2 years ago, Bills and Jets, first series of the game, Aaron Rodgers goes down. Live bettors start tossing their money on the Bills, and then the Jets win with their backup quarterback. And it was like one of the biggest live betting traps that the NFL ever pulled off. So one of the ways they could pull off the biggest live betting trap of all time would be if one of those quarterbacks went down first series, first quarter. Then the amount of live bets that come in would be on the other team, of course, right? And especially if you were to have, the Chiefs, let's say, if Mahomes was to go down, and then the Eagles walk down the field and score the first touchdown, and Mahomes gets carted off the field, you would see live money come in on the Eagles by tens of millions, right? And then you could have the Chiefs win with their backup quarterback, just rake that money. Or the other way, have the Eagles win with their backup quarterback. Imagine the money that would come in if Hurts was to go down first series. People would be like, oh shit, the three-peat's guaranteed. So the biggest live betting trap of all time could be tomorrow. And one of the ways they would set that trap would be one of them quarterbacks going down. So if you see one of them quarterbacks go down in the first quarter, you might want to go the opposite direction. Just saying. Now, I ain't going to predict that one of them quarterbacks is going down. I'm just saying. If they were going to pull a gigantic live betting trap, the quarterback is the piece that they would use. Also, the last two Super Bowls were close. So we might be in for a Super Bowl where one team wins by 2 scores or more. So if you tease the Eagles or tease the Chiefs, they might have the winner win by 2 touchdowns or more to kill off any of those teaser bets. Also, sometimes they have, one team wipe the floor with the other so that if you live bet on the team that's losing, they can get you to keep buying more points and more points and then have that team lose by 20, 30 points. That's what you call the perpetual live betting trap, where you keep on taking that underdog. Oh, shit, they're down 7 points and I can get plus 10. Oh, shit, now they're down 10 points and I can get plus 14. Oh, now they're down 20 points and I can get plus 22, right? So they can trick you into to taking that underdog plus the points throughout the game. And then the winning team can just keep pounding them. So you watch out for a scenario where, one team smashes the other. We haven't had a blowout Super Bowl in a while, so could be one of them. Now, a blowout Super Bowl would definitely hurt ratings, and so perhaps they don't want to lose ratings, and so they might script another close nail-biter, of course, just to keep people watching. But my guess is ratings take a dip this year. I don't see as many people excited about this Super Bowl. It seems like there's less people talking about it, less hype this year, so I would guess less people are going to watch this Super Bowl. Whether or not they tell the truth about those viewership numbers, that's a whole nother deal. All right. With that said, I guess I got to make a decision. And my decision is I'm not going to pick. Yep. I don't know who's going to win, and I don't give a fuck. I'm just going to watch and then break down the fakest plays and make guaranteed money on the ad revenue for my Super Bowl breakdown. And I made guaranteed money here in this live stream tonight. I'm not going to risk any of it. And if I make a pick, then that means if I'm wrong, a lot of you guys will show up and talk a bunch of shit and make me feel bad. So I don't want that to happen. So I'm going to not make a pick. Remember week 2, I told you I was done making picks? Yeah, because I'm done making picks. So you guys can take all this information that we went over and you can make your own picks. If you want to bet on this shit, that's on you. If you win, congratulations. If you lose, I'm sorry, that sucks. But nobody's going to blame me. Nobody's going to blame me this year. Last year, I picked the Niners, and they lost, and it hurt my soul that I gave out the wrong pick. And then a bunch of people came over and talked a bunch of shit, rubbed it in my face, rubbed my nose in it. I don't want that to happen again. If I was to give out 2 losing picks in a row, back-to-back years, that would just make me feel bad. And then people show up and say, oh, the NFL paid you to give out the wrong pick. So guess what? You want to make a bet? You want to make a pick? Go make a bet. Go make your own pick. I don't give a shit who wins. Now, having said that, I think the under might be the best bet. Out of all the shit that we looked at, it's looking like the under might be the best bet. But I don't even trust that. So I'm not going to bet at all. I'm going to hang on to all my money. I'm going to make guaranteed money on ad revenue and this stream. I'm just going to keep it and not bet any of it. So if I was going to recommend any of the bets, the under, if you put a gun to my head, would be the only one. And even that, I'm not putting my own money on it because I don't trust it. So there you go. There you go. Hope you guys are okay with me not making a pick. Some of you guys waited this whole time only for me to not make a pick. Chances are you've already made up your own mind. So rather than me make a pick and you tell me I'm going to be wrong, and then me get it wrong, and then you guys come here and bitch at me, I'm just not going to pick. And then, I won't get it right, but I don't care. Nathaniel says, we're all winners because we get to be here with you. Oh, thank you, Nathaniel. That's very sweet of you. And I appreciate the donations. Thank you for coming on, talking with me earlier. And one baller says, what's your height and weight? Do you pump iron? I am 5'7", 155 pounds. So I'm the exact same size as Floyd Mayweather. Pretty much the exact same size as Floyd Mayweather. When he was in fighting shape, he's like a little more like muscular looking and cut than I am because I don't work out. I don't go to the gym. But I naturally maintain the same weight, so I don't really fluctuate much. I maybe fluctuate between 150 and 160, but I've basically been the same weight for like a decade or more. And yeah, I'm not a tall dude, but I'm not a midget. People out there who don't like me will say that I'm a midget, and they'll claim that I'm 5'4", but really I'm 5'7", which is not tall, but it's also not the shortest dude in the world either. Like there's plenty of dudes I see who are shorter than me. All right. Oh, I got somebody wanting to join the stream here. Lynn Ertel.
Depends on the sound quality. How's the sound?
I hear you. What's up? Hello?
Well, I grew up, I'm here in Baltimore, and my family members and neighbors. Yeah. Oh, I got an echo. How do I turn this off? Okay.
Yeah, you don't want to have the stream on and talk to me with the stream on. You want to be talking to me.
Let me turn it off. Let me turn
in the StreamYard studio. Talk to me in there. Don't talk to the phone with me on it. Otherwise, you're going to be lagging behind, and there'll be an echo.
Got it. How about now?
Now you're good. All right,
Okay,
so what's
my
up?
bad. My bad. I'm
It's all
really
good, dude.
I have terrible social media etiquette. But look, I'm 73, and so I grew up with the Baltimore Colts. I know they're a relic. They're a museum piece. But and I could go on for hours. I could write a book about that. I still have, a lot of the memorabilia. The Baltimore Colts marching band still exists. I think you must be familiar with this. There's a deep, deep tradition in Baltimore, working class town of row houses, Bethlehem Steel and General Motors and blue collar, and it was the Baltimore Colts. And when you went to the car wash or the dry cleaner, you could run into Jim Parker or Gene Lipscomb or L.G. Dupre or Johnny Unitas, Raymond Barry, Lenny Moore, Alex, all of them. They were your friends and neighbors. They made good salaries, but it was nothing like it is now. When they retired, they opened up maybe a liquor store, a car dealership. Alan Amici, great fullback, opened up a chain of drive-in. Remember the drive-in, the drive-in California-style drive-in restaurants. It was a new thing here on the East Coast. Gino Marchetti opened up Gino's, which then I think merged with Kentucky Fried Chicken. But they got franchises, but they were nothing like these billion-dollar superstars. It was a totally different world. And to get an understanding of how the fans experienced it, I really recommend that Barry Levinson film, Diner, with a really young Mickey Rourke. I know, you're probably shocked at what Mickey Rourke looks like now, and you probably saw that indie film he made about, professional wrestling. You might have seen that. I think it's
I actually never watched that. I know what movie you're talking about, but I never did see it.
It's hard.
I don't really watch movies at all. I started
Oh,
hating movies like 20 years ago, and then
movies.
and now I just don't ever go watch any movies. And so like the only time I'll watch a movie is like if I want to go back and watch an old movie that I've already seen. So I don't ever watch new movies, and I never go to the theater. So that's like a movie that I would actually watch because I used to be a wrestling fan. I still kind of like pro wrestling. So that's one I could probably sit through. But
what about movies about sports like Everybody's All American or North Dallas 40 or Oliver Stone's Any Given Sunday? I mean,
I saw Any Given Sunday, but that was like 20 years ago.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So yeah, I stopped
amazing.
watching movies like 15 years ago or so. I started to get disgusted with movies, and then it's gotten worse over the years to where like I know that they have pre-programming in movies, and they'll show stuff that they're going to do in the future in the movies, but I still don't want to watch them. Even for research purposes, I don't want to fucking watch them.
The only reason why I recommended this one movie, Diner, is because I think Kevin Bacon's in it too. It's really talk about 6 degrees of separation. Because it really shows you how the Baltimore Colts were like a religion here. I mean, a way of life. It's all people thought about. And consequently, in 1969, 70, when it was the very, very first, well, I guess Super Bowl III was the third time that they featured an AFL team against an NFL team. And of course, the AFL was never, the way we understood it, was never quite up to the standards of the NFL, but it was clear they wanted to merge them. Super Bowl III featured one of the first, a great celebrity quarterback, Joe Namath, who made pantyhose commercials. Right? Remember? Now you don't. You're too young to remember any of this.
Yeah, bro, God. You're talking about shit from the 60s, dude.
Yes.
I was born in 1983, and I didn't start watching football until the 90s. And so, bro, like you're going back like so far, you've lost almost everyone in the chat, even, bro. Like,
the idea is people.
So, who do you think's gonna win?
You think? I don't know. I think they're gonna. Well, will they do a Taylor Swift, or will they highlight Philadelphia because of that airline crash narrative? You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm looking at. These have to play in. I see a continuum between the various different cultural and news media and entertainment and movie narratives. they have to, they network to each other. They connect to each other. So Philadelphia, obviously, it's in the news because of that heart-rending crash narrative of I don't know, Mexicans on their way, a sick Mexican child or something like, guaranteed to jerk on your heartstrings. That would rev up fans for Philadelphia. But on the other hand, the Chiefs were back to the Taylor Swift, who's a Pentagon psyop. So you know what I'm saying? That the Taylor, Taylor Swift is basically, I don't know, maybe this is off the wall for me, but basically a beard for Travis Kelce, I think. But that's just my suspicion, whether they're going to continue to build that up. But you're asking me to make a pick?
Yeah.
I'm giving it to the Pentagon. So, the Taylor Swift, the Swifties for sure. Yeah, they need them. They're going to need them this year. They're going to have to co-opt them and get them into the Trump camp somehow, because nobody's going back to the Democrats. They're dead in the water. Anyway, I wanted to reference the fact that you've got videos out there of interviews. Tom Arnold interviewing Bubba Smith, who a great defensive back for the Colts, about Super Bowl III, which was the first one where an old AFL team actually beat an NFL team completely against all expectation and all odds. The Jets led by Joe Namath. And it was such an upset, such a complete upset, but it turned out that there were bookies who made a fortune off of it. And everyone was concerned because at the end of the game, and you can watch this, there's a play where at that point, United had been replaced by Earl Morrall, who was not the greatest quarterback in the world, but the Colts still had a great team. And there was a great receiver, Jimmy Orr, wide open, waving his hands. I'm here, to the quarterback, Earl Morrall. And Earl Morrall threw the completely opposite side of the field to a receiver who was completely surrounded by Jets. It would almost look like, what happened to Earl Morrall? Did he freak? Did he black out? And everyone was suspicious.
Earl was doing the job, throwing the ball to the other team, bro. Is what that meant. Is what that was. The rigging goes all the way back to the 60s. We got someone asking you a question. Says, ask her if she knows Tom Nowatzki. Rented a house from him. He was a fullback, scored a touchdown in a Super Bowl. By the way, he's an asshole. Do you know that name?
It kind of rings a bell. That's a little bit more recent, I think, than when Irsay hijacked the Baltimore Colts to Indianapolis. I never quite got into. My father was a real football fanatic. I mean, we went to so many games and sat there on the old Memorial Stadium. I mean, it was a whole different world, guys. It was a working class thing. It was you could afford, I remember extra season tickets that were like $14. So, it was a totally different world. But Bubba Smith gave that interview finally on the Tom Arnold show where he said, hey, I'm going to come out now and say it. That Super Bowl was rigged, and here's how it was rigged. And I didn't. And Bubba Smith says I was really depressed. We had a party after the game, and everybody was up dancing and was all happy. And I was really depressed because there was no way we should have lost that game to the Jets. And he got into a bit of a tussle with one of the other teammates, and they said you should go home. So he catches a cab. And he describes how the cab driver looks in the mirror and says, sorry about that. Are you Bubba Smith? And he says, yeah. He says, hey, I'm sorry about that. But the word came down from Hialeah that that game had to go to the Jets. It was a corporate decision. It was a corporate decision because the merger of the AFL and the NFL into the NFL, into one big league, had to succeed. And so they needed to contrive a win. And Joe Namath was, of course, of all personalities and superstars to be the top player, and I do mean actor in that drama, it would have been Joe Namath. And even to look at him now doing commercials for, I don't know, Medicare supplemental insurance is kind of sad. You got to wonder, where did all his cash go, Joe Namath? I don't know, bad marriages or old girlfriends. But, and then, of course, more in keeping with your generation, we have Jerry Rice and Tim Brown describing how they're absolutely convinced that Bill Callahan threw a game, a Super Bowl game, because he deliberately sabotaged the strategy a week before the game. And they had been known for a running and short passing game. They'd really been succeeding over the year. And a week before the bowl game, he says, hey, guys, he brought out the book, copies of the new strategy book. Look at this, memorize it. This is, and people were, Jerry Rice says the whole team was thrown for a loop. And they have publicly come out and said that Callahan sabotaged that game. So, and of course, with respect to the Baltimore Colts, I got to say, not too long after that Super Bowl III, the owner of the Colts, Carol Rosenblum, who had an infamous reputation as a mobbed-up gambler, he died in a drowning accident. Somebody who never swam alone. He died in a drowning accident. So anyway, that's my down memory lane to indicate that rigging of professional sports is nothing new. But as you say, now it's really reached the point where it's a very highly choreographed and scripted business model, well in advance of anything they did in the past, where all it took was a couple referees or one coach or maybe a quarterback to essentially determine, rig the outcome of a game. Anyway, that's all I had to raise.
All right. Well, thanks for coming on. I got another person waiting in the studio to come on. And so thanks for coming on, Lynn, and giving us your thoughts and walk down a classic NFL memory lane as well. Some of these people, like many of us, never even got to see play. So hearing your take on some of these old players is interesting.
Nothing new under the sun.
All right. Thanks for coming on, Lynn. And I was about to pull you up, Davey D, and then you just popped back out. I had Davey D in the back, waiting backstage, and then he just disappeared. If you want to come back on, I'll squeeze you in real quick, Davey D. And Rose thinks this is funny. Glad you're still here. See, I wasn't sure if you'd like this stream, Rose, because it was going to be a football stream. And so I thought, Rose and Jonna probably won't like this stream because it's just going to be football shit the whole time. But next stream I do, I have a really funny video to show. So the next stream, it won't be football related at all. Next stream, I found an old video of Stephen Hawking that is quite hilarious. And so next stream, we'll go over that. All right, well, Davey D was back here, but then he left the studio, so I don't know what's up. But anyway, so I'm going to go ahead and shut it down if he doesn't want to come back on, and go ahead and get off here. So thank you guys for hanging out with me. Thank you for all the super chat donations, and thank you for all your opinions and the info for who you guys think's going to win this Super Bowl. I don't feel confident making a pick. The websites show money on Kansas City and money on Philadelphia. So I really don't know which team has more money bet on them. And then, Philadelphia getting their 666 loss. And then some of the other gematria that people have brought up, that doesn't make me feel better one way or the other. So I just can't make a pick, and I really don't care who wins either way. We all know that the house is going to win in the long run. So if you guys feel confident enough to make a pick and bet on this stuff, bet responsibly. And good luck to you. So with that said, I'm going to go ahead and shut this down, get off here. You guys enjoy the rest of your weekend. Enjoy your Super Bowl Sunday, whether you choose to watch the fake phony game or not. And I will catch all of you guys in the next video or the next stream. Take care. Have a good night. Peace out. Much love. Bye-bye.